preside over the inauguration of the members of the Presidential Advisory Group on the Economy, PAGE, and to convene its inaugural meeting this morning. I thank each of you for accepting the call to serve our country at a critical moment in Ghana's economic journey. Your willingness to contribute your time, experience, and intellect to the national cause reflects a deep commitment to public service and to the future of our republic. The mandate of PAGE, as outlined in your letters of appointment and accompanying public release, is both clear and consequential. You are expected to provide strategic counsel on macroeconomic management, fiscal consolidation, debt sustainability, and the coherence between fiscal and monetary policy. You are to advise on structural transformation, industrial development, competitiveness, and export-led growth strategies. PAGE is also charged with offering guidance on sectoral development, private sector expansion, investment mobilization, and sustainable job creation, while supporting the design and implementation of flagship national initiatives, including the 24-hour economy, the Accelerated Export Development Program, and other productivity-enhancing reforms. In addition, you are to conduct periodic assessments of Ghana's economic performance, propose policy adjustments where necessary, and contribute expert input to Ghana's economic negotiations and engagement with bilateral and multilateral partners, international financial institutions, and investors. Importantly, PAGE shall report directly to the President, submitting advisory memoranda, briefs, and strategic reviews, as and when required. Your counsel is therefore expected to be frank, independent, evidence-based, and anchored in the long-term national interest. PAGE is not new to our governance architecture. It existed under the late President, Professor John Evans Atta Mills, and also during my earlier tenure in office, and it returns today expanded and strengthened to reflect the evolving complexity of our economy. The current PAGE configuration allows us to streamline economic governance by eliminating the overlapping structures, including the former economic management team. My Vice President, who is a member of PAGE, will chair meetings in my absence in accordance with constitutional responsibility. PAGE will operate alongside the Economic Policy Coordinating Committee, EPCC, which is jointly chaired by the Minister for Finance and the Governor of the Bank of Ghana, which remains a critical technical platform. I encourage continued coordination among these bodies to achieve efficiency, coherence, and cost-effective governance. In constituting this group, I was guided by several principles. First, experience and institutional memory. Some members of PAGE have served across different administrations, including during my earlier tenure in office. This continuity is important. Experience allows us to sustain what has worked, correct what has failed, and avoid repeating costly mistakes. Second, diversity of expertise and sectoral balance. Members bring expertise and experience spanning fiscal policy, monetary management, capital markets, private enterprise, academia, and the real economy. Third, gender and generational balance. Economic policy must reflect the full breadth of national talent. PAGE reflects a strong representation of women, young professionals, seasoned practitioners, and scholars, including the elderly, whose insights will enrich our deliberations. This breadth is not symbolic, it's strategic. I do not want this committee to misunderstand my optimism in the advice you offer as an endorsement of an easy task ahead. We are all qualified and experienced enough to know that we face a tough road ahead, regardless of the progress we may have chalked up to date. As a nation, we find ourselves again in debt distress after having previously declared HIPIC and solemnly assuring ourselves that we will never return to such a position. That experience should have permanently altered our fiscal culture. Unfortunately, instead, we dissipated significant buffers and stabilizers that would have shielded our citizens from the painful domestic debt haircuts that they ultimately had to endure. We must confront this reality honestly. After investing in 3 oil fields and positioning ourselves as an emerging petroleum economy, we allowed policy inconsistency and investor uncertainty to drive existing and potential investors to competing jurisdictions. The result has been a declining trajectory of crude oil output at a time when we should have been consolidating gains and building resilience for the energy transition. Our handling of state-owned enterprises has also been uneven and at times haphazard. Weak governance frameworks, political interference, and inadequate financial discipline undermined institutions that were once engines of stability and credibility. We failed to raise sustainable funding for cocoa and the Cocoa Board's capacity to syndicate effectively, something it had done successfully since the early 1990s, and this was severely impaired. These are not points of blame, they are lessons in responsibility. Ghana's economic history teaches us humility. We have deepened our capital markets, expanded the range of domestic bond instruments, yet we have also experienced painful setbacks, including debt distress and decline in investor confidence. Our task now is correction without amnesia, learning from both our success and our failures. I pause here because I want you to be part of the solution and ultimately part of the success story we must now write. Your counsel must help us rebuild credibility, restore fiscal discipline, attract investment, re-anchor expectations, and re-establish Ghana as a serious, predictable, and competitive economy. This is not simply about recovery. It is about institutional reform, structural transformation, and a permanent reset of our economic governance culture. In conclusion, members of PAGE will serve as national priorities, and as national priorities and circumstances evolve. Your advice will be sought on major economic milestones, including, amongst others, the national budget, mid-year reviews, monetary policy developments, medium-term plans, and other strategic initiatives. PAGE will meet at least once every quarter, but would also meet in circumstances of emergency. There will be emergency meetings. The Minister of Finance, the Governor of the Bank of Ghana, and the Special Advisor to the President and the Chairman of the NDPC will provide technical support to the work of PAGE. Once again, I thank you for accepting this responsibility. I expect rigorous analysis, constructive disagreements and agreements, and solutions that place Ghana firmly on a path of economic recovery, resilience, and inclusive growth. I wish you well in your deliberations, and in the powers vested in me, declare the Presidential Advisory Group on the Economy duly inaugurated.
Your Excellency, President of the Republic, the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Ministers of State, Senior Members of Government, distinguished members of the Presidential Advisory Group on the Economy, members of Diplomatic Corps, if present, esteemed guests, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm honored to deliver these remarks on behalf of the Presidential Advisory Group on the Economy. Let me begin by expressing our gratitude to His Excellency the President for the foresight that informed the establishment of this advisory group. After a period of acute strain visibility is returning, and confidence is gradually rebuilding, even as we continue to navigate global and domestic challenges. This moment must be used not only to recover, but to reset our economic direction. As an advisory body, our mandate is clear and demanding: to provide independent, rigorous, and practical advice to support government. We complement existing institutions by offering insight, testing assumptions, and proposing solutions informed by global best practice and grounded in Ghana's realities. Our commitment is to move from crisis management to durable success. We will foster dialogue, intellectual honesty, and collective responsibility, engage across sectors, and deliver actionable advice aligned with Ghana's long-term development vision. Your Excellency, this advisory group comprises professionals of different backgrounds, perspectives, and experience across diverse disciplines. As a lifelong teacher myself, I would like to respectfully leave my esteemed colleagues and myself with our first piece of homework. That is, for us to constantly reflect on what the term the economy should mean to our fellow citizens. Beyond an abstract concept, it should mean many things, including the following: stability for the teacher in the classroom and the nurse on night duty, fair prices and reliable markets for the farmer, predictable costs and access to credit to the trader and small business owner, stable incomes and affordable housing and transport for the worker, opportunities and skills for the young person, especially the women, security for the laborer, and decent care for the elderly. In short, our task is sobering. That is, to conceptualize the kind of support that makes their economy feel less distant and more everyday possibility. To arrive at a reality where effort is rewarded, risks are shared, and honest work is not invisible, we must remember the concrete effects of the economy on our people's lives, such as the safety of the water, the reliability of electricity powering their aspirations, and the dignity of their work. Economic transformation is a national project. It requires discipline, trust, and shared responsibility across the government, the private sector, labor, civil society, and development partners. Our pledge is to provide independent, thorough, and practical leadership to support this collective effort. We want to thank you again, Your Excellency, for the trust you have placed in us, and we have every determination to uphold it. Thank you very much.
Part about Inside Politics, so live on Power 97.9 FM and after TV SYZ. Fisabre in Kopem 6 p.m. Bebono in Sama Hodwa, Echegu or Mine Ghana ha, the Beboa no Mine Father and Toma Pabidi Fra, Yang Neba Betoa Yadrini, na fe Yed Yadrina boom, na near Beye no Mino, Ebetunia Konkan, Sika Semu, Yajumemu. BBA timi atodi miridi enke Obrempong na metina konya kese mu edi ama Mugabe Mase the capacity man okwa MCR Mr. Rav Jampo ye director ba ko pe o ho no mo ne Peter Krantin ana afeyima no kusi wo mu nyina wo ho Mr. Eye Asante na produce jumadi we na afei wo de amame ene nsema hodo na etwegu ewo oman mu a ye bebo mode na afei ya pe ne pomasibre empanifo a wo mo so sensemi wo mo ho nimdi a wo mo betimi a kirase na wo babi a wo a wagebre na wo behweye anase wo betie ye no wo so watimi atene ekoso nyina se wo hwe jumadi ewo Facebook at Power 979 FM and as a TV SYZ ubetimi do adwenkyere ato ye begebre ne akenkan dia ma uko YouTube ye XYZ broadcasting na fe wabo modern now ehon so agebre e do adwenkyere ato na wahwe dwumadi ni bi na ye nyina yetimi ato to adwene na bibia etimi aye kama yenko yensem no so na fe yentoa dwumadi no so a and anopaya na His Excellency the President John Dramani Mahama obo modern na fe o inaugurate the advisory group, presidential advisory group on the economy. Wabomodin wa pass ampeni fuwe nyina ho ntoma a efri nedi kroi economy no se beye na o mine sika sem ebegina brane na enyuma sem bank ofa bia ubehunu sampa wo mine ekoso no na chese enede ya na His Excellency John Dramani Mahama wo de sajumedie no aba eti empanifo ahodo a wo mo ewo the presidential advisory group on the economy ene etwegu o TV no so no uko Facebook nso a wo betimi ahwe jumedie ni bi Her Excellency Professor Jane Nana Opoku Ajman the vice president okasa advisory group in ho afi Mr. Ishmael Yamson one of your private sector leader former member of page yes one also Ekahubi and Mr. Kwame Pianin, economist, private sector leader, former member. One also Papa will be animal. Kwanya ye fan economy. I've had the opportunity to meet him once, and se wutie Papa no adwene ewo economy ho. Kwanya bai betimi ahye niema na o mine timi agina so yi a enya no wakra se me mahuru no bi se oka ho na obabeboa na eba o man no ye economy abribia etime boa na nieme koyi a papa yi eka bi nti Mr. Kwame Piani babibia wo na wie enke Obrempong oba michia wie pa afa Miss Nana Oye Mensa Yeboa former deputy governor of the Bank of Ghana ono so sika samonto tie wa dimu ye tintiman yie pa nti oba beka hu ono so ba behwe se wo man sika sem enya dia ye beto ombeto to na sekra Dr. Kwabena Dufo, economist, former governor of the Bank of Ghana and former minister for finance. One of the HSA Sikasamo Jumedi Nkwan Wedi, former governor, Bank of Ghana, former minister from finance. Eti a ban wo many Sikasamo, not to say, we will move Aduhunu or no Musia Hunu Yepa. Yantos Sir Samuel Essen Jonah. Sir Samuel Essen Jonah, only a private sector leader and industrialist. One also Eka Sa Group Yubi. Mr. Atto Brown, former World Bank infrastructure specialist, agribusiness investor. Now it's a sempeni for in a share dibre a kuta womwa. Not a sampa. Sa advisory group on the economy way. Ye shenim say Nkwankwa yes the economic management team. Na ekwawie sie no na eno so akwaye bibia wo ho eti yanto asene hwe Dr. Henry A. Kofi Wampa one a former governor of the Bank of Ghana one also ewo so bi Toby Afede one also ejinemu a one enso ebeka the presidential advisory group on the economy no one also eka ho bi or economist or say private sector leader na wasan ye wohene pompa ewo man mu a fe Miss Abena Amoa on the chief executive officer Ghana Stock Exchange one also eka ho bi and Professor Priscilla Chumesi Bafo University of professor and academics one also ejinemu bia oba fefe one na ho ofani ni nimdie eba betena the presidential advisory group on the economy so na fe wo matimi aboa no manyi afana ntoma pa bi de afra last on the list Professor Patience Esiwe Abo PhD researcher professor and academic researcher na che se enya de keto akra enti sampanifuo yi wo mo ye 9 that be 12, sorry, 12. And His Excellency, the President of the Republic, John Dramani Mahama, and that day, I mean, they can say here, Wabomodia inaugurate you, ma, Wababa Betinasia, Wamobaba ye, Juma, Sebeyana, Woman economy, ya, a do baby, a titipan samia to the extent, say, na, emrewa, and kokra, yama menum, yam papanum, na, wama yo mejumewe, na, wama to bond, wa buy ho, say, Wamusika kakra, wama ye Jumadin, enyano, wama de beto, na emfasudie bi e wo ho ebeba no wo ma bomodin adini nkakra enkakra kwapem time a onyankopon beto nsa e dey from but then yehu ye under the MPP regime led by the former president of the Republic Nana Addo Akufo-Addo Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia and Ken Nana Yauforiacha the former finance minister sabe what to bata dey free o man mu a ye frana be fie kura wose nya de obebe bioda if you say Ghana had here and nya de obetimi atu ne nansi abio under them and yehu adwumayefo a no oma ye adwumawie the former chief justice Sofia Kufu ekura ka ho bi a aban ne fa ne sika di ye wo bra na wom babia nipa bia wunyini a na wapomudi ho nsam eto chimakakra enti sabre ni se sika ni hu a wanhwe ni ya obeto na nan ntem onsie do enti ubehwe nsem asisi ya men kan krofo ya Mr. Michael Mikado wo ba besui woti di so wo ba be twa jajo say wo panana do Akufo-Addo achew the then president wo pa Ken Nana Yauforiacha achew say ni sika akwakodi didi yipi numu no ni sika aban no de ne nsa to so so mfa mani bio no emwo no amane ho kire no amane ni so biri no papa isu wo krom ho akopem da yete se ampa Mr. Michael Mikado wato na nanmo ansie do under the MPP regime economy nitete to the extent say na se edu baby na wo ko marketer Ghanaians were always anticipating for a new price. Ade enye obi ade no, but edu baby na say Ghana ni anagadi ni ko Ghana dwom na okoto mo say okwakoto eye flour esam say okoto kufuo gallon yellow ibi oyo no bibi bia okwakoto no say oto 1 hour time okobaka ohwe nim say wo mo beka kire ne say yatum na enye ne nwanwa bio ehone baby a Ghana economy ni kodu ye ehone ade a yehunu ye to the sense say we are seeing Ghana economy no junk status ye ka say baby a junk status ade atete apro na pansam a deplete emfa so bia ni so bio anunti nana MPP for ekwa abosia bo that time na wo bia mpese obetam ni sika no de ama MPP for bio no bia mpese obetam ni sika because wo man na bura besia na fe yem besia na ya bura gu wo no yantimi ntua enti wo bebo besia wo me ho wo fa sika ne maye esi de na me de bi ka ho etiane na mo me fa ni nkyerɛ fie enkokora na mmerewa wo mo a aye adwuma akɔ pension wo mo sika wo mo wa wo mo de ato bond wa ban ne ho no yenkofa sa sika no yenko jimfiri wo mo nsam enye se ye ne o mo koka kasa ho yembo pentoa na yemfa ntwire mpanifo nyina tiri ho wa obenya sakora wanya wa obenya mu ho ko se de ne be se wapampam wanya haircut bia wo nsabeka bia obenya na emoja enyuru mpanifo efi o mutiri ho begu o manase awia ketekete obeko finance ministry na Sofia Ekufu the former chief justice eni mpanifo akese a no wo maye adwuma ewo public offices private offices no mawia to bond di omo musika wo mo wo di ama ban sa ban akere to bond wo ho ne gisofa so de adi no na mpanifo eti finance ministry na wo mu su wo mu nya finance minister mpo mo megina ho enka nkyerɛ om sɛ yɛsrɛ mu yɛbɛhwɛ ne yɛbɛtimi ayɛ dabi da bebire fa ho twere wɔ mo nkwa enti sɛ enei His Excellency the President of course obaye from last year 2025 Ghana dinisi subio sema mpani Ghana ni bia baby a wo ne dai wobetimi aka no credit a kire wo ho sade amemo yakọ aje se bia wo yobi a still na no wo mpese wo beje no kura bi di atum but baby a meka da bia se me Obrempong meka da bia se baby a Ghana abre na aba bedu no ene wo mampani a yase yanya ne biewu wo mampani a wadi supen o mampani a waye vice president pen o mampani a waye minister pen o mampani a waye MP pen aye assemblyman pen se wo hwe politics ranks na almost wafani nyina mu na wodi president wie no kwotena kire emfie nwotwe ade sua ade wa kire na wasia beye mampani bi o da bia meka asem na mekoso aka me say tie me fa wo political color a wo join fa to nchen tie ma yendin komo for a second enepe ka kire wo so wo ye Ghana ni nti wo ba de Ghana ho wo be jai politics atridi wo be jai me ye party we atridi tie no kwana me ka kire wo ne no every say yenjumadi a yedi records guo ebi ana saa time no na dachi bi Obrempong manyi na mekọ social media wo wi obi betwa ba bebo se abrantie bia na oye adwuma o TV SYZ na oye adwuma o Power FM Radio SYZ eye XYZ broadcasting wo ka kire Ghana fo nyina se His Excellency the President John Dramani Mahama ne second term year what is ne 3 years year akai wo say wo si from no kroi se sa pepepe na be ya Ghana ni bia ntiem ye na awiai say would you for the first time in your life you political nurses fatu baby na wo sorry bia bompaye sire nyankropon say adwini mupo biara ensi say ye pa biara I Excellency the President John Dramani Mahama any NDC aben sabre ya wo mabetena benya so yi na momubu o man Ghana no wo mutimi nye sansese e pa nto won fa ma wo ene me efisa se ye koso ade sa memu wei particularly ade ye politics ade ye amanyosem ade ne nsa e kura e wo se enye ye party na wo so ntino ye cookie story bi ye fa me kan kire Ghana fo nyina ade na se ya tete apro ebon entianya di aban ne yade na enye hey no aban no emratan experience ekuta His Excellency the President John Dramani Mahama se ya man hu kwan na wan se so man we ya going forward o man ne bebre eti wuti wose Ghana ne free neko se wuti asem bi anya wonto boase pa asem ne nchiremu na fei ye wadwene say for the next 3 years aka no the abine baye especially from His Excellency the President John Dramani Mahama any si abai and say ye pa bia wo mo de beba no wo de akoma pa besom wo de wonye mayen keke donko wonye sanse say no na ko ba ne say ye de bedi agro ye de baye politics abiri bia no eye kura nye de bi munko ye press conference munko ka che Ghana for say na asem ni momo kro obekom na nte saa ye wa hanum kwajo ponkroma ofoase member of parliament ebe ginam na se be jam ni ye di Christmas god boda boka wo hunu bi da god bod ye ton boka sorry wakotena TV so ni yesa bisa na wo se won ka hwe krada na so saa time no wakoka saa asem na wie eye saa ni ye ba be ye the normal politics no eno ni ye ba be hunu eye no ni ye ba be je nchirima it is a nyankopon ayadom now for the first time she said ye enema sofa esiatete for iron rod for cement for fire mo for oil ko market si ebedi no kra de amaye ho a nanso ubeko one corner ubeko one place na obi de wayire ne buo no so say $1 ne ba 1 Ghana cedi no the 10 cedi kra na be fa mo bag a wono ko obeto 100 Ghana cedi enye ne party ne woso e wo se wo ye na Ghana fo etan aban no na wo mo kwoto aba wo metu nagu driver ni na ye say me so me party ami woni e co-position enti aban e di aba say from last year May 15th 2025 ana aban yi any driver for nyina di nhyiamu ebe ka kire o my Ghana nyina say of course fuel na da 17 Ghana cedis per liter aba from ene abedu 9 Ghana cedi 99 pesos ewo oil ewo Star Oil other filling stations eti aba from there a driver for eye fuel we na moto na mo de yamadwuma enti monte mo nso mo fa na so 15% bapem ne ye wo drivers bi a wo mo de o maka kire o mo kra se wo mo nte so ne wo kina ne natika ho yenye na ban ne ho mratan ma yenye ye ho se sabi ye ma ye ni enso de because se ye koso de sa setina we etena o man yimu na ya nsesa ye suban a me kan bio se yetimi bompa ye fre Yesu Kristo ana nyankropon no bom mayimu ni ye di nisi akonwa se mampani na me nu mienu adwene eda ye ntirim sansesa ye beboa ye ho a o ma we nya de bepa ne ntoma pafrada da bia meka last 2024 me pomode kasai adima isasalasi John Dramani mama anya dia me wura be ho me ho da ana menu me ho da dabi efi se me hunu sa gidie ne ani da so wei se wo ba fuel so bete oba dollar be ba from oba emu be ko down oba opportunities be ba amu o man mu atimi aya mere kakra Ghana nye heaven ye dano me ni ya bi di nkomo ose Obrempong ne ma bubasi nyina ye ho kire ye ana Ghana ana me say enye heaven yo but edie na asai se si amene wo de ka sai edie na asai asini 8 years ye twam yi ade be na wo Ghana se si ya asai sene sa ade ba ko pe so bi betimi a kire me ye wura free SHS a eye emofra ne nya aduane ni ya close schools ni bi down say o mun kofie because aduane ni wa na aban yi ba watimi so wo fa ejomu a last year Christmas for the past 8 years last year Christmas na enipa ebu so e won kan kromo na na wo say fire service for ba no mu be bu nsuo gu nipa so because heat any stampede na e koso and kan kromo no e been see that for the past 8 years and no dey na person hu na wonti ase bi o hwa kwan it says let's about see the big push $10 billion project it will share eye ofanko ekoka eye nsanwamu am for the past 8 years under the MPP woman timi anya kwan no ama driver for to achia abribia me no ka say Obrempong Enterprise Limited e twa so friend mail kwale kwan no wo mu efo fanko ko nsawam se wutie me oka mu asema me ka wurim se wuti nsawam na wo hwem wo TV so a na wo bankran ya wonim se de na kwan ne tie a year ago ana sabre kwan na be yesei and for Ghana regions in all the 16 regions almost every region benefited from the big push project yen kwanya hodo akese ebetimi aboa ye ayede abio an ye hwehwe enti yamua yanyai amanya sem de bia no yamua yandwene wo man ne ho kane yanya mampania experience wonye suahunu yanta na chi ni yata na chi a eyenya na beboa yan na enyo obi fufuro bia na afi o man no entimi mfa ne ntoma pa bi no mfra na nyese da bia yebeye politics yento ejuma de no so na afi yenko yanim dia ene da ya ana eye Ayawaso East by election ababeto ho na on the 3rd of March the Electoral Commission of Ghana abomoden na what this by election yakwakoto no and na the various political parties omo ebekwako gina bi womo ekofale womo pieces na fe bibia betima yekama enti Baba Jama Ahmed wono an wo ginam say parliamentary candidate adiama Ayawaso East ahead of the 3rd March eye abatwa ebaso nenedei woko na fe wo makoko file for the nomination no wo hwe nipa edina tia na enya de ketwa yes Baba Jama Ahmed wono na wo ba no na the whole of Ayawaso East ene NDC fo a wo mo so mani ade sasabre yi wo matimi enya Baba Jama Ahmed na wo ba be di party nanim ewo Ayawaso East na on the 3rd of March wo mo akọ no matimi akwakoto abama no ene na wo hwemfoni no ewo TVSYZ uko Facebook nso a at 979 FM na fe TVSYZ ubetimi ahwe dwumadi ni wo ho na papa ya wo mama no so ye acting chairman edema Ayawaso East NDC amanyokuo no eye Ishak wono no mama no so no wono so ekobi PC primary se course so ewo NDC mu Ayawaso East no chairman ekobi eti se wo hwe anigye sadi Ayawaso East for womo to nyom na womo bom nsem na chairman abeka ho na tese sabre womo to primary ni wie no enkaboma ba anigye aba asumdua aba sadi enkrofo bi na womo keka ana womo sie no ene hwe wo mahofoma center de fita kama Baba Jama Ahmed one wo ba be sia fi mi no parliamentary candidate dima Ayawaso East anu wa man nsa so no na afi owevi e dia kire na titafo a wo mo born na chidom na afi wo mo ko ja no ewo electoral commission ho asabre wo mo ko na wo mo de na ko kire se nyame ya on the 3rd of March no Baba Jama Ahmed wono a anebeda ballot paper no so na afi wagina NDC fo anamu ewo abato ebeko so on the 3rd of March ewo Ayawaso East eti MPP fo so ekobi womo candidate no wono ni din de mame hwe wa ni din wa na fe membo mamo na yentoa so okay Yusuf Ali Baba woko Ayawaso East omo friend homeboy sana womo friend wono so akọ enedai ana fe 3 independent candidate a womo so womo gina se womo pe MPs ni bi en womo so womo nyina obi akwakoye ne de chairman na esresere won Ishak yes won no oje fans ni nyina wodi Baba Jama achi wo se yato awi a ye nyina ye yamanyokuo bako ye nyina ye yekuo bako ye mfa odo ye mfa ntiase ye mfa nkabom de ehu hia ne se ye betimi age tumi ni bio on the 3rd of March ewo Ayawaso East by election a ebaso no eti acting chairman Ishak a wono e contest bi primary se course wo NDC amanyokuo ni nemu wo bra wo mo pe wo bi obegina party nanim ewo Ayawaso East ahead of the 3rd March no wo mo na wo makopie wa sabe de electoral commission eji sankra ta ni nyina tum na wo ma yen hyehyeye se de se na fata na nyankopon ya adom na on the 3rd March ni du so a wo makokoto aba na afedi obedi kan no so no wo fidie mu a ya bo amane se de se na fata fe ntia na enyago enye agro general secretary yes GIA wono so eno ogina mu a wo kasa no so yebetime etie ni omo kan kakra aka yetie omo baye na fe yeto a dwumadi no so yetie omo ba.
On behalf of our parliamentary candidate elect for the party NDC, we are here this morning to present to you our nominee for the by-election in the name of His Excellency Baba Jama. So ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for our third candidate to now address the media. Thank you.
I am very pleased and thankful to all of you for making time to meet me here today on the filing of my nomination as the parliamentary candidate for the NDC in the upcoming by-election in Nima. Let me start first by thanking Almighty Allah. That's why I left Nigeria to come and serve. I am here to serve, and I'll do my best as a human being, together with my friends, the other contestants, the constituency executive, the regional executive, and the national executives, to ensure that the best comes out of me in the interest of this country. Thank you very much, and may Allah bless you all.
Baba Jama Ahmed ana wote say wakasa before obekasa no wo Theophilus Tetechai one of the general secretary edema NDC amanyoko no wo enkran empatemu ha kwan ya wo mafa so asabre wo matimi akọ no makwakọ kire say Baba Jama Ahmed ana ejina Ayawaso East enim wo NDC amanyoko na nemu na on the 3rd of March by election ababeda ho no wo matimi de nakọ na wakwakọ jina na fei wo makokoto abano nti enede sede eniema esifa koye ewo bra na wo mukọ na wo makoko ye sa dwumadie ni nyina no ana nhuri no titafo ahodo bebre ana kopie mu ho the acting chairman for the Ayawaso East wono sin shark no ka ho bi a wono so call prime minister ni bi no waka ho bi ode ntoma akobo Baba Jama ntoma no se wo ta na chi vise womu nyina afikuro mu anase miakro anakuokro ana omo join ntisi ato abawie na ono adi nkunim a wota na chi other people so a womu gina prime minister bi wo bia eba se wo ba beta Baba Jama chi na afi wo makopre nkunimdie no on the 3rd of March na ene ya no womu koye no the Electoral Commission of Ghana IPAC meeting and the political parties no the New Patriotic Party Adin Sembi atudwa ewo ho wobra na IPAC meeting no ekoso sanso na NDC for so ekasa e de ka yenkohwe MPP for womu nsemu a womu de atudwa wobra na IPAC meeting ekoso yehwenmra
Baba Ali received this morning. Tomorrow we are going to the regional office to participate in the ballot. But for IPAC meeting today, other discussions had to do with EC to conduct a review of the 2024 presidential and parliamentary election. That has not been done, and so discussing with the EC has admitted that it's an important exercise that needs to be done. EC also intend introducing what we call results taken electronically at voting centers, and so they are going to pilot this exercise at the Ayawaso East by-election. And the New Patriotic Party is in full support. A situation where results get destroyed by hoodlums will be a thing of the past. And so we will support the EC to file a new CI to give a legal backing to an arrangement where results will be collected electronically to collaborate with the manual transmission of election results. I think by and large, there's understanding among parties that is a nice way to go. And this being the first IPAC meeting, the New Patriotic Party took the opportunity to extend appreciation to the Electoral Commission and the Ghana Police Service for the peaceful conduct of our internal presidential elections. And so for us, it's been a very fruitful meeting. I mean, we all saw it. EC has the mandate to conduct this exercise, and it's a convention that after every major elections, general election, the EC with other stakeholders will conduct a review of the elections. We saw how the elections were conducted, how results were transmitted, collation, how it was done, some security lapses, EC's own challenges in some of the voting centers, the use of the BVDs and all that. So these are things we want to look at. And going forward, what would be the best way for an election to be conducted in a manner that is peaceful, that is not too expensive, and that will ensure that the integrity of Ghana's multi-party democracy will also be uplifted. So we are waiting to have this done. We are waiting for EC to give us the timelines. The New Patriotic Party is going to win Ayawaso East by-election with our candidate Baba Ali Yusuf. And we are all here and we see it that it's a constituency we will win this time around. And so I'm putting it to you, be there in your numbers, but let's also ensure that the EC will conduct peaceful and fair elections. We will call on all stakeholders, especially the police, to ensure that there's peace in this process. We don't want to see what happened in Equatia. Well, the EC said that all security issues is in the bosom of the police service. The police will not speak on issues at IPAC meeting, but we can count on police. I mean, New Patriotic Party, when we had our internal elections, the police did an excellent professional job for us. They know we can count on them. But this is a by-election, and we don't want what we saw in Akwatia to replicate itself in Ayawaso East. The EC arrangement is that parties will be accredited to be at the printing house that will be selected, and that selection is yet to be made. And so when it is done, New Patriotic Party will be represented in this printing house. Well, I mean, you realize that in NDC's primaries, I mean, their own people are talking between Baba Jama and the other candidates, and so that is up to the NDC. But you, the media, should check. The Political Party Act is clear on some of these things, and you have to look at them and question them. And I think that if it had been MPP, the media will all be on us. And so ask the NDC, the issue that came from their majority caucus and the position of the party. I mean, these are things we should interrogate. So let's find out from the NDC.
Okay, until Gary Nimako, one of the head of elections, Edema MPP, Amanyo Kuno, and what is Wakasa. Ewo eye by election eba so na meeting e course ewo IPAC enede ya no wono ana wote say wono so wode na no di sem na tudwa wo say for the first time MPP be wini Ayawaso East eye akonwa no nti ye nyina so ye hwe yenko na afi yenko nkotie ana yenko hwe deputy director of election and IT Sofo Rashid Tanko computer wono so IPAC meeting e course no wono then on also what kind of phone?
We've attended the IPAC meeting as usual for the Ayawaso East by-election, and I can assure you we've agreed to all their processes they have laid out in terms of the printing the ballot papers and then deployment of party agents. We've agreed that we are going to deploy 2 party agents at a time for each of the polling stations. Ideally, it's supposed to be 1-1. Because a parliamentary election, but because it's just a restricted parliamentary election, they've given us that opportunity that we'll deploy 2 party agents for each of the polling stations. We are ready. We have filed our candidate today. As we speak now, we have officially filed. We are going to win. Our aim is to increase the margin. I mean, that is what we are going in. It's not about winning. It's about increasing the margin. We got the last time we were 22,000 plus. We are expecting to go further, at least to about 25,000 more, because of the good works of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and what the party is doing for the good people of Ayawaso and all that. So we are expecting a very massive win. We're thinking our opponents will just chicken out. I mean, naturally, because it's not a place for them to come and waste anybody's time. But since they are coming, let them come. We'll give them the heaviest defeats in their life as a political party, MPP. And so we are ready for it, and we are sure we are going to win. Yesterday, the General Secretary of our party articulated our position, the fact position on this matter. And I don't want to recap of what happened. We all heard it loud and clear. The media were there, your reporters were there. They listened to the General Secretary of our party. I think I still stand by that position. I think the General Secretary made it very clear. The 3 core issues on which we allowed Baba Jamal to contest this election. And it was very clear. So I don't know why you want us to repeat it again. It was very clear. You don't solve an illegality with an illegality. We are law-abiding political party run by a constitution and regulations. The director of elections is here. He ran the process, and anytime he's going to run an election, he makes sure that he goes by the dictates of the regulations. He can't go outside the regulations. The party has a constitution, and so if we come out and we've seen that we have been magnanimous and be very clear in our mind about the report, compare that one to our opponents who have institutionalized this canker in their party. You saw it. You were reporting it live on 31st January. Have they issued even a one-line statement to condemn what has happened? Have they put up a committee? You should be congratulating them. The EC did not see anything. They conducted the election. It went on peacefully. The process was conditioned. What happened did not happen at the polling centers and the centers of the voting. So the EC went ahead and declared the results. They don't have any problem with that. We agree to the timetable they've given us anytime soon. They're asking us to bring our agents, the printing agents. Well, it will happen anytime soon. As soon as the green line is given, we will send our agents to the centers to monitor the printing of the ballot paper. I can assure you we are good to go. We are ready. And we can assure you as a political party, very law-abiding political party, the NDC, we will make sure that we will not dabble in any illegality whatsoever.
And Sofo Rashid Tanko Computer, Ano Deputy Director of IT and Election Dema NDC Amanyo Kono Ana Nsema Hodoa wono so no waka the Electoral Commission of Ghana esia the various political parties IPAC meeting nsema wo ko discuss ye no wo so nia wo so wo waka na so mo babontin a wo beka wo kire said the nsem no nyina emotie na ahead of the third March by election ebetimi abaso on the 3rd of March wa ayawaso east no wo mu nyina said wo mu nyina eboabo om ho na fe wo mo de ahyehye so yisi said the person the various political parties and comport om wo bra sa battle bekoso no ni nyina nso wo mu di ho nkoma amanyo ko nyina agi atum se wo mbeye ne sa pepepe na fe bibia nso etimi aye kama wa ayawaso east by election ebeba no so no ye free ayawaso east no na fe yembowura the Ghana Revenue Authority. The Commissioner General Edema the Ghana Revenue Authority Mr. Anthony Akwasi Sapon wababe kasa wase ya taske GRA say afia we nkwa 2026 na omo mobilize anase wo munyi sika omo revenue e wase omo domestic revenue no e wase enye 130 billion Ghana cedis. It is abede wo mani abere pa wo mo hwe say sa tax no wo mo betimi MET yankoni hwe Mr. Anthony Sapon emra wo bra sansemi wo de tuga yehwenma.
Our theme for this year's retreat, transforming for impact and growth, people, performance and compliance, speaks directly to the scale of responsibility before us. In 2026, GRA has been tasked with mobilizing 230 billion to support revenue mobilization and government agenda. This is an ambitious target, but it's also a necessary one for financing national development, strengthening fiscal sustainability, and supporting government's broader economic agenda. Meeting this target will not be achieved by business as usual. It requires a transformed authority, one that is strategically aligned, operationally efficient, ethically grounded, and trusted by taxpayers. It also requires leadership that is deliberate, cohesive, and forward-looking. We are happy to note that the team has worked so hard that by March, ITAS will go live to revolutionize our domestic tax mobilization effort. In the customs area, beginning this week, which is an AI tool to support our customs classification and valuation, has gone live. And we are happy to know that in the first week of going live, the transactions that came in raised additional revenue over 1 million USD. We are also on course to revolutionize the e-commerce and digital transactions. Sentinel platform that is interfacing with the banking and financial system to ensure that we are able to collect VAT at the point of payment, particularly for cross-border transactions, also went on pilot live beginning this week.
Mr. Anthony Kwesi Sapon, Honorary Commissioner General, Edema the Ghana Revenue Authority, Anna Otis, Nanundisem, there was a GRA, the Ghana Revenue Authority, revenue omutimi wasa omutimi generate na afi no so etimi boa ye wo man no e wo ne nhyehyeye mu ahodo mu nyina no na wode ede etu dwa no me no de ka say GRA for the new VAT regime ede aba ama spare parts traders wa aboso kan kokompe wonom wo mu nyina mu bu afu yie pa kasa se da bi sabre dia so mu bo ne ye twitwa mene because ya ne tachi adoka say we was from 4% yetua no kwakodu 20% say but yare fonso di nchiremu aba press release no enada TV no so no eti yanhwemu wa ha na fe yanhwe se the new VAT regime the Ghana Revenue Authority di aba no yade eba beboa adwadifo wo mu dwumadi a wo mu di no ana se eno ba be ya atetemene atwitwamene na enu momu so aba be ha adwadifo no wo mu dwumadi a wo mu di wo musika wo mutua na abribia na ma mo ho akere o mana eti for immediate release asem we de GRA for na ede bia aboso kan spare parts traders association wo pene a wo mo se o mo pene the new VAT regime no mo de aba no enti o my illustration o see the illustration below uses 500 Ghana cedis base price as an example and a profit margin of 20%. Enti yanhwe o see input VAT paid on 500 Ghana cedis purchase. So we share old one no. Na spare parts for etua no a. Your friend say 4% flat rate no. About 21.9% ewa hanum. Eti new one no so na new regime no. Old regime no na 4% one no. And a new regime no mo 20%, which is the standard VAT no. So we share more high, no 20%, but old one now traders way to no, 21%, which of course higher than the new one no more diabano. It's a way, yani Reverend John Boabin, one chief officer Ghana Revenue Authority, Accra South area no so what in Chilemu by say. So we share illustration way on my yenwa. Dianye nanka abosoka afo benya faso wo ho because with the old one now 4% flat rate no we share 500 Ghana cedis base price no mo de aye wa hano a not just say final price to customer so you use 500% 500 Ghana cedis base price final price customer ade no betimi abeka onsa no 760 Ghana cedis with the 21.9% VAT ubetua ana face obehwe the 20% standard VAT ubetua no the same 500 Ghana cedis no final customer ebetua 720 Ghana cedis. So I was asking him say then I say figures no any percentages no enya dia these traders no ebia GRA for asada mo matias here because say illustration yo my ye sa pepe na asem tie dia nti na wosenka the spare parts traders no wo monye of course nka yade a ebeboa omumom nka yade a ebetete niema so kra momu dia ma omo na nka wo mo so omo spare parts a wo mo kra no wo ma timi ateso dia ma Ghana yanya yekom ho ne yekoto sa spare parts ni ede say yenka ase ho enti adan na sabre dia spare parts traders association womo say womo ndi ntumu da sa new VAT regime the Ghana Revenue Authority ediabano illustration na TV so no na wahwe so we compare dia na che say mienu no the new 20% no enu mom betimi aboa traders no ene na da so no dia yin as say ya womo mfa because traders no say womo dia womo new VAT ni ntum womo pe old one wa 4% flat rate no womo pe no dan sa 20% here beboa na niema so atimi atete ade amaomo no eno wo mani nye ho timene wo de kasa ya mprempren ya the Ghana Revenue Authority ene adwadifo no wo mahia a wo mo ye meeting na ye hwe afei entiase ebetimi apie fi sa asem iri aba ye ne tachi ado kasa no o sei ensem na nkasa no wo mo nkyerechire wo mo muye enti ebia na nkoma me ne pani ni di ye no na ye no kura no a wo mo adwadifo no de omo nim ni say ye tia 4% flat rate ana 4 ne 20 de wo ye de 20 was so say 4 enti anke si dan ana e ba ne sen ana no mo ba be favor enti omo adwadifo no mo propose say between 5 to 8% de sanka omo de ebe say no the new VAT regime a akomo adwadifo no omo ni ha obia na mom 20 ni so na so GIO fo nkyere mu a omo de bai no enie minyara kamisa santi ye be say nya GIO pani bi nanka watimi aba na wodi nkyeremu aba be so adwadifo omo a ebia womo ene womo nya kwan na womo ntimi anko sa meeting yi bi meaning so of course after the meeting no aftermath of the meeting no mpanifo a edi anim Techiado a oye PRO Edema Spare Parts Dealers Association wono ebeko no relay the information e FGR Ediama ni nuanom oni omu digwa no na afa bibia ye kama because looking at the illustration on the television our press release a GR diaba no nanka wo hwe dia to me the new VAT regime na anka GR diaba no said the woman church ma ye illustration wa sa na tie dia nanka no mo betimi abo adedifo ebi antiase na enya adwuma ye ebi na antiase na enhye damba ye enti enne meeting no ye de ani bi akire yenya munya wie pe Techiado ye beba ho na fei wodi ababio se mukosi agiarefo no eden na fei o ma cheche mu akwakodu eden asem na makwakoka afedi ye sa 20% no magia tumu ebebo amo because the ye nyina ye hwehwe ne se enema beba fom niema bo ebeba fom na bibi biara timi aye kama na abiribia no kakra bi ekita no kra no watimi enya sika na ade ato ade wo bere kwa wo ehihia obebre eti yabeje bre ni abawura mu ho na afeye tie Techiado ene GRFo nyina wo bere wo ma yesa meeting ya wie me ne okasai eguso ekoso kama nti yabeje bre ni awura ho ebusia ha power 97.9 FM ana afei live on TV SYZ inside politics jumedie ana sabre enumei yabo edwane wa hanom a ensema hodo etwagu wo manum de wo se wote ase ene dia wonte da kra no ye de som wo kwampa so mi de nke Obrempong grassroots president ye be kro ye victory garlic mixture for aso ye ediaba de bia se de meka kire no se wo hwe TV we TV SYZ na se wotie Power FM na wotie Radio SYZ a na se wo yare de a ebi awanu ama ho kwan se wo pese yare di uso because ya bomodin ani wo mo ati apomudin ase wo mo ati ni padua no ase na wo mo timi ye nupa ebetimi aboa na biribia honam ne beto mere no atimi aboa wo na wanya hoden na odi abobra ne bio eti victory garlic mixture for you ready and then so wo mo nsempa a wo mo wo a wo mo be kabi di akyerew na wa fa mu afutuo ana watu anamo na won sako pabi na yare bi aye krankro abetena so na timi ayi efri no o ma ready en hwamra ne to adwuma die so
enua victory garlic mixture na wati ni bi na tia tin se na edro ni tie na no pasem ne se edro we adwuma aye titru pa ne se ebeboa ananna ne srade e wo ni padua ni mu tin mu ama ohu atɔ kra de dika obabi wo ho a okomfikire a ema edro a wuhia ye victory garlic mixture ebi kra wo bekɔ a ewie wo ansa na ba eye victory e na wuhia victory no ma na busumi biara ubenya ofikire akwa empa ho kra eno de achi a obi wo ho a ne ti ne ta adwa no obi wo ho ye adwuma kakra bia no abrɛ na nakoma bɔ ne periperi ni nyina ye mogya entimi mfa akoma nu nkwa adwen mu eno ne kɔfa saa de ne ba odofo mesrew so wo ho na wonsɛm ta adwew ebia wonsa no sei ana wonam ro mu na esi fom no kra adwew ana ayatufo sɛ de adi fom ato mpaboa mu a eye victory na me kan foma wo onum victory asa no na ye bobɔ so nyina no ebegyae de ɔtɔ ho anadwo a wontini na wohia victory emframa nyankopɔn de ama yɛn sɛ yɛn humi wo de wo humi a na wo tie so o bra eye victory na betimi aboa wo ye wo bi wo so a wo ho ana ne yɛm ahye no a obia na ne ka obia nya ne hwe obi wo so na koma bɔ ne periperi ni nyina mogya ne ntimi ne afusa ne ye wo ni padua no ɛdura wunya ye victory garlic mixture de watwa bra ya bia ya na se kokodue ne nam no no ye ne basa eye victory na me kan fo wunya victory bi no a ebeboa wo se doctor de wato aduro so sani a ubetimi anom victory na ka waduro wonnyina ne se waduro no na abenuma meat aduasa no anom we so na abenuma no anom victory no so achi media biasa we ya ne sa bibia ba de kama ma so we na se tata we ya ja ho adwuma mesraw edura me kan fo ma wa ya victory garlic mixture mesraw ni kan bia dance ya pese ya fa o ma dance na tie na se wo so koto a benya sa dance kro no a
ntwe mi page mi ntumi ni di mi yare so mena ko be 12 years ni man no nduro kan mojeduru 5 minutes de tin matutu ana se na meti TV ntumi na me hwe ne mu se moto nduro bi esi victory herba victory garlic mixture ne mi ntoduru sa wa moduru no asa moduru no eye papa ntumi ni di o mi din sa no me di afi bi no se di ya na afi insa na afi no ntumi di bi afi mi di ma edubone sa wi semi anu so no ntumi di anu so mi gba mu sa afi de anu so bi di no ntumi di bi afi mi hu de me nya no na ti edo no kan o TV so a na mi kutu bu ni me no edo no anopa eni awiani anwure no ande no si afi nyampara mi no adibia ntumi di mi si afi na tola tam ko ya black masa modro no die edoni na nyame nhira mo
aje me pa me problem ye menstrual pains ndan ne kakra me so me nya me menses no boso me ma me bre pa me brankasa me timi to tondro no na ne se man ti se yesi ye bidro ha na makoto be bia me we mtimi fa ka akọ obi kru so ekoto bidro me timi no bi chese na victory ni dey in fact I don't know me dey wo mu dey me ko tobi me ti advert no TV so sada na me sorry anwunre na me ko toye na dana me say ade yi to me padi mu no mo ja tropa yi to me padi mu ti me twa to me phone no so kura say ha adwene a enka me de betum aka ho na mo ahwe te say so wa hwe ye ko ka se me bia me ya bo hye na me no maduro bi te say efi sada na yi sa mo ja tro no to me padi mu no me nya meze se no maduro e ma me hu sa e mo ja se bi like say kwoti te say ni nyina flow kama to victory tie mintimi enja ento ho nteto de bia na mo ba abasa mo me so abasa na edon ne me di hu adanse
obi si me de cholesterol sa de boni e na aba mi nipadua ma ba gi atenase waduro ye victory garlic mixture se wunya victory ne no ma cholesterol ne se ne nani e density bia no victory be yi ni nyina afi nipadua no odofo wo pedia to anama ne 024 25 45 633 024 25 45 633 and 020 129 3280 020 129 3280 a victory mkunimdie ne ade bremu.
Least 60% water for optimal performance in any physical or mental exercise. We can help you maintain it naturally. Natural mineral water. Simply natural. For bulk purchase, call 0596 273 546 or 0596 273 547. This advert is FDA approved.
Abusha me Simon Wakwaba bio at the bar Power 97.9 FM live on TV XYZ Inside Politics Jumedie na iguswa ye de eso mono nkomo no bebre ane ye de afei no wabeka ho a ye ma Wakwaba me ni sa Jumedie mum enkopem sa 6 pm ebebo midin e de enke Obrempong grassroots president metenase say ya na afei se de ensem na tie nesene fata no na ye kana sa pepepe e de akyerew na so watimi anya ho ntiase ukọ Facebook a ye platform ho at Power 979 FM wobetimi ahwe dwumade bi ana TV SYZ and so Facebook na mu de wani kyerem YouTube a eye XYZ broadcasting na afei watimi de ho aka dwumade ho wode wadwen kyerɛ to ase a ye beje bre na afei yakenkan e de ama ye to dwumade bi so e wo fidue mu de ama menkanfo eye X natural mineral water enfema bọmọdé na hyɛ ne nso sɛ wo nipadua na ekita no nsuo edimu tintima yie paa nsuo nko a ana nipadua na ekita na sɛ wobɛnom nsuo ana wobɛhia nsuo a wode bɛyi di dwumadie bia sɛ woyɛ party sɛ woyɛ yie sɛ wo bibia ceremony bia woyɛ nsuo ba ko pɛ ana nyumo me kan for the ama ye X natural mineral water ekuta nnuane nuo a ensuo hia de ama nipadua na hyehye na ye from abreni don bia ntia ya hyene nso se won setimi ka X natural mineral water ebetimi aboa na wapomdin kran so asiye wo bra wonum nsupa na wo de agu mu bomodin se won sabeti betimi akabi ukom melcom mo bia e ben wa me ba cha won sabetimi akabi na won so wetimi atobi akofie eyabusuan chemfa peninum abofranom obanum bemanum obianom X natural mineral water aman onu agase husampa wanya pomudin kama bomode na frɛ number we na fe ene X natural mineral water for nkasa ebia na wo kra de open dodo no watu na so de akokugu shop mu na waton na wanya so mfa so akra san egu ubotom 0596 273 546 0596 273 546 and now say 0596 273 547. It's the Edikan here 0596 273 546. And at the Tosum here 0596 273 547. Now, for what me afre X natural mineral water for no mama be two. Now, so aquacoton X natural mineral water now say simply natural. De wonum ne sign and mawa hoarding. I'm saying, Sabe, you ever call a Power Specialist Herbal Hospital for you be come ho woman so woman ba do fidue mu ensem ahodo enwo a woman wo yare wa ahodo a esa o my ready ye hwe omumra ne yento adwumadi ne so akwa bai
ya ni amine
bibi aboko
akopado boko
na hospital ho na edano na minam munam wo ayi ho no kwabenya side ho no
yes
hey na traffic timisi o mani mo sa
asam kito say do na dodge ba fa ye nim ho
okay
instead to ko fa
ofanko no
no mo wura ma ba fa yo nti ana nya asam
enti sa la ni nyina yo mo e ba hospital ho mo jinkrofo nko nyankopon hira mo ene ye nko ide mo wode somati fo na ahwefo nyina
me da se abusia ya mo akwa ba power tambre eni Power Specialist Herbal Hospital yadin chefi ashe Dr. Panyia or that hospital no doctor akosia edu aya ho de mu bibia ogebre na ohwe power time de be yes me kan nyina ne say said enkrofo di power ho adanse TV so radio so internet ne emia hodo no won so be ka dansiri for no bi Power Specialist Herbal Hospital do na fe last stop you Kumasi won cry and na ye water cry the Kumasi o fe yase ye ni Jasper Flint station ni di hwe ni mu wo aputoja contrast kwan so Lake Road ana yewo akra wo kwabenya ACP kwan so ne block factory no edi enhwenem na fe takrade wo Anaje Estate Customs Road ye ne single washing bay no enso di enhwenem ye numbers no ayemiensa famu bia ne frɛ wo fra branch na ebe no ne ama direction ba ho na wa beji wa yarasa numbers ne 0555 797878 0200383831 and 0244544422 Monday to Saturdays and the day Sunday pe and the day maybe holidays ye juma or your branches in them to be obia any idea be a show swatcher. So the office a holiday in Pona or Juman Tonya Quanya or the Abra. Labo Papa Bio here say my no by ye different show. So here say my yes, canoe here say my estry. Pibi very assassin, you knew who the cost in Pedro Baye, nay free Sabran Air Corno, Baby Obia or Ghana ha, and now someone an impo, or more UK, US, and Yahudono, yes, she shaded no send do Mumu Mayarasa, and Mumu treatment it me conkind. It's a Ghana Hankwana wa, so a pando, so a hohoi, so a takwa, so a summer boy, so a libo, Baby Obia. You bet my share, Brano no, when Sabetima Kawadro, no treatment, no so I come up. So kwatena baby watching chinia na fe obam pub boy so ya de we de enu na du ko wo mu a mesro baby asese okoye ba kopɛ aye power specialist herbal hospital Kumase and crime and I say aye takrade o hwe power time and dey kan a hwe power time what test hepatitis B positive tin ye yade we yade ba ko bodini pɛ edi ba ko pɛ e ba obi adwene mu aye power specialist herbal hospital baby akopɛ awkwa ayaresa wo ho hepatitis B mo do fu mo janu kra baby awkwa be ko negative baby ye wa dance de kyesa mpa yade anu etimi sa etu ase efri mo janu baby ya chi award o Ghana eni amonone e wo hepatitis B ne kono e ho no eye power specialist eba hospital misro so what test positive na wo hyede mu su say ye wukunu say ye oyere say ye oba say ye onua bi so what test hepatitis B positive fa sha wadwunu mu say baby a wokwa ayaresa wo baby a wokwa hepatitis B mo be furu mo jane mu eye power specialist herbal hospital idini ya ba kopɛ power specialist herbal hospital misro e ma yade we enku akuni papi efibra power specialist herbal hospital ye ba ye nyamiadom yade we ni master eye power yes say ade man krofo di ho dance TV so radio so internet me ahodo obi aba TV so be di dance bi anso oba the report before and after treatment e kan ho me show di dance sampa nyamiadom doctor akoso do ya wodura ye de say ade we etu ase baby a obi aso akotena baby no mo say ade we de so de amount ya de we de manager amount me so mirikam dwane ansa na Oliver na sha say power specialist about hospital hepatitis B ni master eni yen o de na fatty liver na how and na liver enlargement and your liver cirrhosis just so brabo no srade ada ho se twom so hwe TV ni so a brabo mienu na da TV ni so de wo form no ehun no aye smooth kama fefefe wo hwe de wo soro no a ehun no ayetesa akokɔsa ade ahonho no aye kase kese wo fatty liver wo liver enlargement wo liver cirrhosis brabo no srade ada ho se twom brabo na hono aye dendenden ama oyafunu aye dendenden wojo ho ba bia nyi oni no aye very yellow so nya jaundice oni padua ni nyina wa ye hoya we liver no e severe problem and friend dia agro power specialist herbal hospital yesebra nyamiadom ye waduro e be mo adu aya liver care aye duro ba ko a yaye ne kama a siesie aye liver no e saliva ne yade ama oyafunu na ayekutu udiri kitu abi na yafunu ahye na ayekutu wojonso a Johnson ne tesa Lepton na se coke mesro ya ma adu ya liver care ebeboa asaliva ne ade ama oyafunu asabi srade adamu na ayekutu no ni nyina betwe ama so ho atimi ato no odi adanse no eye bebre baby a obi a nesa wo fatty liver wo liver enlargement bra power specialist herbal hospital Kumase and crime and I say eye takrade odi na eye kidney stones na how ana aye kidney cells kidney aye ade ba ko a ensese odidi agro mesrew enkrofo hunamane because of kidney issues unasi nyina tatai severe waist pain ulowa back ho aye wo ya ehyehew kakra bi ade kakra na wabre enfo kidneys eni agro wo kidney stones wo kidney cells tumika furniture power specialist herbal hospital we ye bema ojonso semna shase eye basabasa Debbie Amkasa mema how can see Pamu Bacon, a Johnson Honsam. Yana Wayasi, I say 10 Johnson intimate ma. Kakrabisuna Johnson do, Okwaki to Abinaba, Watchman Sana Johnson Abba, Johnson Abba, Obama Muya, Yabama Mushi show, Johnson intimate ma, Ujun so your 10 casse, Johnson be Akamu. Ujun so your moja dear, Chiboka, Debani, your mojankwa. A betima your prostate, a betima your blood, that's a societies. Ebia your kidneys. Ebetima your ureter na so urethra. Ebia your untreated infection. to me Cabra Power Specialist Hospital. And you tell you what the Oba, yen Vitipra Copa Madro, the Biamka say yen treat just symptoms, yet tackle the cause of symptoms no into a sayadi it was here. To me Cabra Power Specialist Herbal Hospital. Number 0555 797878 0200 3831 and 0244 544422. Odi na ye osa na how a come the way your problem. And you to your problem. Ya na your funa share gastritis. Ya na obofro bi create me fe wo chika sen mu ya wo ya hihye onya sam ketwa obo no nyina yo ya no kopie wo chutanya heartburns wo de na aduane jejabo indigestion ulcer symptoms ne bi eno no wo hia adua ya SK. That is stomach care. A club be away from no say a duodenal ulcer, say a peptic ulcer. We may do ya SK be a bow, no concluding in a man water. A typhoid, and now malaria now. Typhoid better tear powder and day, one by on you know why you're typhoid better more severe constipation. Typhoid corner better running stomach. Typhoid a deba a sign 10. We hear color mixture. Between us one time. Say a malaria now, what is the positive? Be plus be a debia. Bemo adua ya malamis na aboa atuade no asama nso so ani atimi age ohu ayo mre da bia wo yare onu yonyonyo no ni nyina ase betimi atu na sa bra bia ya so moja so ate wo kokasa so ntimi na oso tia na ete de wo ma wontene de wo hia adua ya heba tonic aboa sesi ni pedua no ama ho ato wabɔ wa ache wo bɔ wa na wo ya hwan na moja omu wakoma bɔ se kim ya no oni so kura bru wo bɔ wa na wo ya hwan moja nko a onfeno nyina ya wo ya ma odua ya kofke heba mixture se wakoma na ebo se wakoma na ayekese ye se bia wo heart enlargement so wo lungs issue ni nyina mu no wo home esoro a wonya adua ya kofke heba mixture chest cough ebebo na solve problem ni nyina dia ma ya de be na ehaw wonya fitani wakwa adwuma ba wakwa ye ging na de nko a baba na honam nyina ya ma odua ya ultimate pe wo mo ta bigare fatwuchi ba bia bia kotokata so wada de be chena ho eden ye ma jiri ka di dine ne honam se be ma bi wa ye mre wo mpamu de me vitality be yintini mu nyina moja metia akota yintini ne mu ama be mre gina so de se be mamu a ne so nya herbal mixture immune system booster ne de kan ho de a ne ba bia wudi ama ya de bia titu bia bo modern so ba hwe Power Specialist Hospital Kumase Encrine anase eyeta kwa de mesro bo modern be bia ton ha ba do bia no ka banyeru ni bi mo ya wale for matena for 12 months awone maya eye problem e betima free be man betima free oba no member be low sperm count wo be semen analysis no na sperm ba kokora na woni bi oba no so bia o fibroid e bia ovarian cyst or cervicitis ni nyina ni timisi awo kwan momra power yan hwe bia ha no wo ne amua mo na power baby senya no Ghana na bi ensom so ya de bia ha bia yantimi anka ho asam no e bia na ya brenin tanu kye senya ho adwuma se pampa bone na wo num wo kokata so antimi na wo so tia na ete wujun so bebere no aye ha mesro bone fracture do mpeni mo bu penya wo de fabra sciatica to asetwetwu se ya so hia se ma ye massage be massage ama so so bibia timi akonka de ama mesro ba bia obi a na ya de bia ha obi a no hwehwe kira kwan ye wo Kumasi ya won crime ena ye water cry the Kumasi ofe yase yani Jasper Flint stage ni dim hwani mu wo aputo ja kontra so kwan ne so Lake Road ena ye wo Accra wo kwabenya ACB kwan sane block factory no edi enhwem na feta krade wo Anaje Estate Customs Road yani Senga washing bay no edi hwani mu numbers no ayemiensa fryen 0555 797878 0200 3831 and 0244 544422 Monday to Saturdays and your day adwuma Sunday penny da ye adwuma even holidays ye adwuma all your branches in me do say baby algebra na ohwe power time nyame ya do da sene sabre ya nso ye de apomde ho nsam no ebebro
se baden se apomde ho nsam se ubenya hoden a abibia ubehunu ana wo bete se ye bo aduro bi ho enka ye wa ha no abusia ya memfeni agro wiase usika ana se wa hoden usika sem gina wa hoden so eni nti na se wo sika mpempem kra na se wo yare da ho a wo bo se aduane nya wo de wo sika mpempem na se untimi nsɔre nkɔ mmaa abere bia na nigye bia ni mu de ma wo efiri sɛ sika na wo anka obetimi de apia bonten obetimi de atena wo kam obetimi de akɔ nnwuma so na bibia yɛ kama ma no saa abere yare abubu de ato nti ye na yɛde apomudin enuro ahodo eba bomode na tie na fa ne wo so wo de ewom na tu anamode akyi na bɛboa nti power specialist eba hospital ana wote wo mo nka no wo mo so nuro ahodo mo wo womo edebua ni papum din ene na brabo no ana ode beto anum no aha power 97.9 FM live on TVSYZ inside politics jumedi ana busu ayeguso a yede esomo no yankohwe the Ministry of Tourism Arts and Culture the omode ababetu dwa the Ministry of Tourism Culture and Creative Art yes the Ministry of Tourism Culture and Creative Art womode ensem bia ababetu dwa den na omo worker and then Wednesday enka Obrempong metiye anka wasanka fubu batakari kama dindewum kama ka say ya Francis dinawo ya o ma me sanyi bonsan kama yiri sei eno ye atade ba ko a se wo hwe sade tumi womu a enya me nwanwa se wo bra Kwame Nkrumah ene ne mpanifo agi fa hodie no no mu ko gina the Black Star Square no na empanifo a womu gina Kwame Nkrumah ho including Kwame Nkrumah himself womu nyina no mu sefugu obi a sefugu anase batakari ene de amene wo de ka say Ministry of Tourism Culture and Creative Art womu de ababetu dwa se wukwada biara fi nede kro enti nyame yadoma next week mbo hume new design ija wom na de abadwumade yi so o se fi nede kro Wednesday bia womo hye e de amake omo hye fubu no na afi womo de a kire wiase nyina se Ghana ye wade ye so ba ka president Kufuor time ye benya Friday we etina edu Friday a eno ne ma se de ye pam ntade ye ntade ye fabrics ye local fabrics aye no ene ma e be do yakon ejesi a Friday we no atrakura say Monday nyina me go Obrempong say mitimi shefa ye local print no Monday to Friday that be a meshe because we share the confidence a building we mono e na nya de ketua say ministry no e de aba wo se wu kwa de biara official Ghana ni bia e wo se wutimi shefugu shebatakari fananti fako nyuma so na afi wani ntimi nye yanko mra shebe dwam sesi a me na wode ka say safugu ya the yes Ministry of Tourism Culture and Creative Art abai womo edin komo de afa ye twa ho na afi yenkoti omomra.
Now, let me tell you about Safari Valley Eco Resort, the first of its kind in West Africa. Upon your arrival, you are introduced to your butler, who plans your itinerary.
We were surrounded by wildlife from the moment we entered the eco park.
So many activities, all in the same premises. Visit the gym or the stables, they have it all. At my break, I'm able to practice my putting.
We also went fishing on a man-made canal. Our tour guides taught us so much about the wildlife and how to interact with them.
They used only electric vehicles here. This creates a serene environment. I'm told it's over 1,000 acres. My cabin here sits on 2 acres with a large terrace space overlooking my private swimming pool. Now this is royalty. They have their own farms, thousands of fruit trees. I can also have my lunch here at the waterfall. Quite a beautiful place you have here.
Visit Safari Valley Eco Resort in Ghana, bringing you closer to nature.
Na ede na ya obeyi a oda former son ye funu mu emunumuni. Oh, Mr. Entry, also ya titi mi benfie pi nanso ni yamu nyono da. Se me show no ahodo amato a me hunu hwea. Ebe ya nwanwa.
Menyi ni se, what ulcer tamfo Hexa capsules, any Hexa mixture, yanum bom kutia ulcer no bia mano anum. Anka ne ho atono dadaada. Ulcer dro die, eno any Hexa capsules, any Hexa mixture.
Ankom ni nchiremu.
Ulcer ye kura, eto ye funu ene ensunumu. Etuma wo ye funu ekeka wa. Wogire wo ho a enyi. Ulcer etumi ema wo ye cheko, ebra wedidi ewie. So how eye ulcer there? Compare Hexa capsules, any Hexa mixture. Nanum bom na ho ebeto.
Pedudu atua, ko Okanshi Drug Lane, Kumasi Dani Herbal, Takradi AA Mensa, Anafre 020-3822-855. Appear about Tanya Wama on more friend for any more fra when you fear dum yeno enka ho. Hexa capsules, and in a mixture.
All Satan for FDA Aji Edwedi Nkratui Atom.
The serene environment fits into the goal of the school, which is simply to provide excellent educational foundation for your ward's development before they commence primary education. At first glance, clearly you will see why the school is called Hebron Hills International School, as the building stands tall overlooking town. With a Montessori style, we have experienced and dedicated staff and trained teachers. Our small sizes classrooms are meant to enhance teacher-focused approach where children get one-on-one attention from the teacher. Hello there. We are open at 7:30 a.m. and school closes at 2:30 p.m. After school care is from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., while early drop-off can be arranged at 6 a.m. Hebron Hills International School is located at Midye off the Nsawam Road. Locate us with GP postcode GW0688 GA West and GPS code 06884870. You can contact the school and make further inquiries on 050-876-2375 or call the office directly on 0302-918768. Email us at hebronhills.school@gmail.com. Hebron Hills International School. Excel and shine.
Obrempong eye adwumada. Eboa eyam aduane. Eboa eyi nsa free ni peduanim. Na eboa woni pedua ma etena ho yie. Nanso, wonim se niema a yedi na yenom. Timi ma brebo ye adwumaden sen pote.
Me hu da. Me brebo ye adwuma pa. Ebia se me ntumi ye bibi boa me brebo.
Ani and nointing what the left here from the Moses Clinic near Herbal Center about Herbal Food Supplement. What sits in pan the barberbo, ama a year juma ye.
Now, a juma.
Fatopa yenu, and no pani anymore. Na a boama brebo ye juma ye. Send a beya, a bit me and yam a jania woody, a sissy ni pejanimo, a ye moving see.
And no, I'm a brebo can't
Ubenya Left Kid or pharmacy, herbal shops, ne supermarkets are ebeo. Sa wope duduo so etua. Fred 0244 06 8447. Left Kid, wa wo brebo, wa wo ni pedua. Edro yi enye ma apemfo. E ma ema omomanofo. Ne mmofo a wonya mfie dumie. FDA agi dwedie krato yi atum.
Ifo kra na menyisika. Edia ye mefui.
Ehin fapa na menya bosia edia tre medjuma yimu.
Kai kra mabre mi ye bosia ato taxi fufu. Suhum Rural Bank.
Suhum Rural Bank.
Yemamwa kwa baba Suhum Rural Bank. Ye won hyehyɛ ahodoɔ bi te sɛ dwadifo abosia, ekoko bosia, susu account. And it does our savings account. Me bada chain savings account. And then the keka home. Suhum Rural Bank was 03422918896. Now one so what to me aka say.
Suhum Rural Bank. Ama ene mayeka una.
Suhum Rural Bank. Enti me pa minie.
Suhum Rural Bank. Growing our heritage.
on Power 97.9 FM, live on Facebook at Power 979 FM, TVSYZ, YouTube, XYZ Broadcasting, Inside Politics, Jumedina, and then you mean so Yabomodena, Wafiemu, Wajumemo Kam, Baby Wabomode Ajebre. Now we're trying to say we say this some more. Midi the Obrempong grassroots president, Abibiano, say betrasi say dia, na wa winim, and some who do a trego, said ye, was so betting me now, and tiasie, na bibia tinya ye kama, and nunti ane bomode na fe, yababe somo, ewo kwampaso na bibia etimi, added an aquam said ye was say, edida, we say, my meeting went free or not fe, yen to Jimedian, so Medimosis Clinic and Eba Center. On the 14th of February, Danwa adofo chire omodo, Danwa ankrofo da omodo adi, ade chire womo adofo womo mame womo papa womo nuanom womo ire ni womo krunum no. Sada no wo fa sa akonya no so, wo bra obia wo fie no, wo se bra na fei beye free health screen no mo ye nfa ho ba beka hom na womo nye free health screening fema womo nye teku simple ana tro se obedu OPD na obetua bibi dabi nemum obomodin a oba so anu aboa ho because se obeye free health screening e fa blood pressure ho eye wo BP obi nipa bebre wo bi mema ese ho kura bi wa hu enti bomodin na fa sa akonya no na nyame ya adoma memene da ye edi anim no ko na fei wo mon ko ye o check up kama ewo eye Medimosis na fe bibia anye kama fama omo be ye dental issues so wo sen se wo o how bia wo sen ho so a Medimosis se no so free health screening no eno ka ho a wo mo be ye de ama ho free na fe wo mo wie nemum wo mo hunu wo how bia wo ma cheda aboa ho so na kakra bi ekita ho no wo matimi ama onu e be boa o be ye prostate so ho adwuma bema prostate no mema hayen tete abrabo enya de keto akra enti na wabo modern na wodi wani acho na prostate no so akoka bi na fe fibroid nyame ya adoma Saturday from 8 a.m. anopa ekopem 2 p.m. on the 14th of February Valentine ekoso a wodo enkrofo kire wodo bebrebe no wodi wani kire Medimosis a free health screen na ekono wobetimi I enjoy bi na bibi biara etimi aye kama edi amount eti na se parliament na ready Mr. Sanje ana yen toso nkwaichi okay abisa yanko masebedwem na fugu ana batakari asabre wo mu nyina adi atuma na so wo mudi hu nkomo nsem ekoso no yentie kakra parliament man ento aso
member you may ask supplementary question.
Thank you, Minister. You cited delays in payment as the reason for delay. For the Nkaria, you also Amanchia Road and Nkaria Nkraifuasi Road. You cited delay in payment for the work done for the reason the contractor has abandoned site. I would like to know when the last payment was made and how much remains outstanding.
Yes, Minister, if you have the details.
Mr. Speaker, the contract sum is 29 million Ghana cedi for the Nkaria Nkran Fuasi Road. Works certified is just 2.6 million. Mr. Speaker, it tells me if a project is 29 million and you work only 2 million, and now because 2 million was not paid and you stop work, it presupposes that contractor does not have capacity to work, because that is too small an amount to spend on a project and stop work. You haven't even done much of the work. So, Mr. Speaker, I can give you the details of the contractor. It's called Measures Nata Construction Limited. And then the second one is also Measures Kofi Job. And this particular one, the contract sum is 307,888,461 Ghana cedis and 46 pesos. This one, the work physical progress is just 6%, and there's no record of a certificate being raised for this job. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Any further question?
What steps is the ministry taking to ensure that these contractors actually stick to their contractual obligations and go back to site, please?
Yes, Minister.
Mr. Speaker, we regularly do periodic update of the project portfolios of the various contractors, and whenever they are falling behind schedule, we draw their attention. If they fail to hit to verbal warnings, we write to them officially. But Mr. Speaker, the truth is that majority of road contractors suspended work prior to 2024 election, more than 90%, simply because they raised certificates in excess of 40 billion Ghana cedi and they were not being paid. That is why I said that it is a very good reason for President Mahama to have tried to pay almost 10 billion out of that 40 billion, which has never happened before. Hopefully, they should encourage other contractors who are yet to be paid to go back to site and continue to work whilst we find resources to pay the rest. So it's unfortunate that indeed contractors risk, take loans and do projects and are compelled to be servicing loans and cannot tell when their certificates are going to be paid. It is a very difficult one for them. So, but despite this, Mr. Speaker, many contractors still risk and continue to be on site, at least to make the terrible sections motorable for the public, and we appreciate those contractors, and we will continue to work to make sure that we pay the bills we owe them so that they can complete these projects for the benefit of our people. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, member.
Honorable Minister, have the ministry considered terminating and re-awarding these contracts if the contractor fails to remobilize?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I always terminate projects based on the provisions in the contract to avoid judgment debt. So there are steps we needed to take to be able to make sure that you are acting lawfully within every contract. So whenever we exhaust all those provisions in the contract, the obvious thing is to terminate. But I cannot unilaterally terminate a contract if it's obviously an affront to the provisions of the specific contract.
Masabegem, Ghana Masabegem, Anna Hunu, Roads and Highways Minister governs Kwame Agbeja, Honorable Anna Watenenka, na fi koma hodo e kosunso ya kwan hodo so no woni ede ba wode ba besom yen fugunu nso wo mo ka ho asem ntini nyina e wo mrase bedwem ne live ane ye fa ede mama no te ye tojmedi nso e wo fidie mu dia na enche bia anase sabe kura de wo ma ba bedu mpanifo mienu a ene dai ye ne wo ba bedi nkomo a ahodo a aka nyina wo ma ba bedu ma me mo makwaba na fe enen komo ewo hono nso ye mbomode na ye nhyase emfema homo Mohammed Shamsuddin Ali former Bono East Regional Secretary Dima NDC Amanyoko no wababa be kan yensa ewo fidie mu Mohammed akwaba
minya mejo so
bibia bokode yesi ayache afun nyina atoto
eso post no minya bi
sa
oda minya bi aminyabi ndi wafu atutude shira
oze
eyehuru but eyehuru papa say afunu de atoto na it's a sign of good living say ura mahama ne hu fra makra keke fa ho a oh yes etimi ma unya akoma toye mu ma obi bia kototin enti onye nipa sebi impreduasa odi man so a o man ni nipa ba kokura si apini ni sa wa wo pe na obesi apini ti ora mahama home from anko ana ama
I bonus
ni ho ay kama
sa pepe
ba onu amu no naturally ni ho fe
oh yes he's a nice man but me who na check akra so obey na yeshia
but only is first na when ni nya o so kikina no
o da ho clear so beti mi aka ho
o man no de wo kwan paso
okay
exactly sebi wanya bibia kra se
what buying with power.
It's
And,
enough.
It's enough.
Yeah,
You understand?
yes.
Say you're trying the
In fact, and yes, what buying with power. I buy power.
Exactly.
Oh, say what buying it here? Some of me this in. And so I'm very much okay.
Okay.
Just because you are buying papa.
Oh, didn't you matter to 2 years?
Exactly. The only problem there, Kuafua, Omo Kamsa, Omo Nyama. Now, no, me who so we say almost say food security. There's no food security, insecurity at all. It's lies. Bumper, glotch. Abiana boom. But Akuafonu nyatofo.
Last year alone,
that's the only thing.
The finance ministry released over 300 million Ghana cedis. Edema National Food and Buffer Store. So the glad about maize, rice.
Last year 100 million.
100 million. Okay.
This year, 200 million. Okay. 200 million of Fina and according to your friend saying agric minister, was say they will need almost 600 million. So if you say yes,
for the food glass,
for the yes, 600 million
for the insecurity,
yes. No, it's not true. You know, that they will need, and he did indicate in Parliament say MPBA on him say there is your friend saying
food insecurity.
There be obi a ofi say abuso ne krom no ombra na so ye no onye nhye enra o kan.
And is it to say ebia aduane ne wo ho na emu media temamufo ne nya sika mfa nto aduane na na
there be enya sa
cannot be the case.
Enya sa so dia say
aduane bu ayefo.
Okay,
you understand. Aduane na bu so dia say entiama ade na ayefo regardless enka omunya tofo a akuafo ni nyatofo a they would have been okay with that. You understand? Because Nioma abai we dia tutu akwan mu no definitely the prices of air inputs now omo de kuadwuma no this year be drop. You see last year omo to no abodin e na omo de ekua no e na aba enti aba na abai we de nhihye aba na ma aduane abaden abebu e na enioma no bo na akofem. You understand? E na omo nya sebi tofo. You understand? But then this year season where one input no fertilizers ammonia ne nyoma na omode yekua no eso beti ebe from drastically. You understand? And by the fact say fuel bo akofem no ntino definitely tractor for na omo use epla omode adwuma definitely omo so betete omo bo so the labor and other things will also go down. It will go down. So enji aban hihye ya wa ya buffer stock ekwakoto aduane no se yehemu kina na etimi ya adwuma na etimi koto aduane no dodo na free akuafo na the things will be okay.
But Mohammed, what in so say some of the farmers wo do aburoi ene amu ni ade say price ne ba form no wo so how mona what is up bibi sa
yes, in fact omo complaints no about the fact say they don't get buyers. They don't even complain about the prices.
No, some of them are also complaining.
Yes, some do. But then, when you consider the economic system and the economic situation and the way things has come down, if they get buyers, they will be okay. You understand?
Okay.
Yes.
So,
exactly. Because you see, I mean, okay, when you come to our region, Bono East, that is one of the food basket of this country.
Sure.
Atibubu, Amante, Edra.
Very
good. So that's also you understand? Hey, Danso, KJG, and others. When you go to the north, down by area honum, so Basa area honum no, so they say Nkwanta, KJB, all those areas. When you go to the friends, that's Otino no, northern region, Bimbila, Oko Ulensi, Oko Bandai, those areas,
yes.
You understand?
Yes.
They farm a lot of yam, you understand?
Okay.
And their problem, that is their problem. And I believe, sir, in Shishaya, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, Ediatu Akwamuno, inshallah, moving forward into this farming season, Ombeto Monyoana and Yoma Konkandi Hamagana.
Very well. Mamema, Listo, Nana Kusi Poku, Okumkong, Nado Dona de Freno. Nebu. Anyway, what for papa?
Oh, me that's it.
Fugu I said the Ministry of Tourism. One said that catcher say one said that na kese. We sika kokwa sika kokwa san wo.
They tell say me ofa kwesi adwuma ka sembi
okay
bema kwesi adwuma na me fa ne krensi o se enya bema ne di opia ema etimi hu se opsipi osita o de man share ho because enya bema bia na oba bitimi hu no kra ema ne ho ye nani
yes
na me no I believe in being fearful and ugly. And two cars matari fe kra kame ya tempting na maro. Sense eh fe dia ne mo fa se na madam Muhammad. Because ono na ama se say no me na mani e chicha me fugu.
Oh okay.
And say me fugu bebre.
Wow.
Na
neboku
Mima bro o memo man bro bi bebre.
Mate.
Ye ma shede ye mintimi fa. Esa na me sunsume.
Memo ma bro. Sunsume mood. Inti wo de
kamera. Bo de na esa ahwe edambo bebre. O de na no shede. Inti but just to talk about fugu. Last week and Zambia for us in Dubai. Na me wo yonko bi a o tamalia o ton fugu.
Okay.
In fact, most of fugu aya me share. Me pe fugu pa. I make the short ones.
Yeah.
To na enim se me osi se fugu net.
Okay.
O se wanya orders in excess of 300 and something
pieces.
Orders in kwa wanya from time Zambia for us ne buy no. Na no fee say be so wa and na no pay of me. O say no. Order wanya no. Nti say no agege nkofo dia but ogia agi say osa ema ne nkofo review ono review them differently.
Wow.
They said they send me.
Now say a boosty
the fugu market. This is the person na ye turn na magana for. Oti ase. Oyonko ko she fugu e ma obi akwa no fugu da. You say o sha tare bi kura wo kon no. Atare a osha bi a ko betimi ado no so won pese obehye because of a huhuru a suit eno de utokwadua yi ni America onu suit she papa but say base on promote Ghana se fugu a shedo mahama uti se wonam a bemen sin so no aham no untimi se fugu ni she na ase se bi wakopa maka ba bi a odenam se menim de osusu no se ni tailor se ya no mu fi se se no mu TV no so no sa na otiu nti da bia emfata no but John Mahama ko she fugu just obi comment keke ene fugu crop bia to awre
ho ya yedin
because say no bia o mo produce dada ye to na asa obi a woni bia osusu no esa se ye declare say enne obi an shefugu Friday obi an shefugu na fugu ba be ye one of the leading your friend is saying entaria ye be share wo man nti no so say obi epefugu ahye the catcher will say John Mahama so wo de entomagoma na obedane ni kenta ma de afra me kai na Ghana for de maso
ebi ni ehunu
me se wo pa fantomago koma John Mahama ade be chi wo be kona entomago no adani kente na me na esira no
yes
ntimi wali hu
hwe ni ho be wo ya no hwe
ya nti Ghana ha na why na betimi opa na makofo nko gina se yanto ne so aba makofo do megina se yanto ne so aba na constitution ne ma ne kwan opa ne ya sa madom ama kwan se wonyina ne yanto ne so aba obedi nkunim nyame na esira no etina chone kan se so owudi ni di so a o mani si apimie akoma pa odo eno didi o mani so enti bibi bia e fa no bia no wo dwene bone ma no nyame bi ye nsirama no o ti say Yesu Kristo
bona dani
se no tafu ni se o kum Yesu ro no nyame sem so akata o tia me kwa no wani bi o se no so kum ni wie yen afa kwa na agin semi de nyanko ponhya ni wo sira no o se minti na wusu afidie na tutu
yeah
sare na me bo no ene ne yan kan fa John Mahama incompetent they no onu the word incompetent no ene Ghana for who say wa bonche kuro a apro wabon the economy keke amano afei woko no also a digital man enso ni computer no phone crowd reset ko ni ye phone keke reset oni ye enso the digital nam ubusan say eyede na ye digital ekwan be na afa so ye digital onim cross fiber optics adoma ma ye na atina magana for aye interconnected with the mobile your friend say interconnectivity onim app keke eno de na no bo ne ho asafo hene apps
I say obeye target to airport
obiye osibie na afide na bonani pre osibie misi bie
na say bie
afede osibie wo yesu di mi wo visual ekremoni oh entino eyenshira entino me say wo hwemia fugui ebule so
but
talk about and bumper harvest.
Meba yebeba honum yenti wadi we free ho. Yehunu yenya information ya kan bi we free ntintan so sabe they were petitioning the president say the CEO Adema Cocoa Board Randiabi president Empamono. Dey na kofa sense mi aba.
Me pacho me ye nitiawa. Okay say asempa yitia.
Okay.
Yedi kan mentai minu arandi da. Na sebi bibi e wi asibia no ye wo se ne ye no. Ena enye se ebia ontimi nye Cocoa Board na chese sebi ye ntone ntwene. Randy ebia ye mano baby fufo sports obetimi aya ma na ye perfect. Nya ne ho asem nka
de na asi Cocoa Board
onim adia sabi ye fa ni Cocoa onim ade kro position na ye de ma no o man pani fi na kumba mu ni mu ade nyina e no dane ma ne say Randy ko ne ko yie sabi previous o man pani ba no o man no se na ni asia tete apansa no. Did you ever think say he could speedily get us to recover to where we are now? Did you ever think say it was possible for John Mahama to conjure what he has done today
within a year?
And a dollar, any cedi. Shantokwa omoko. And the get me kwa China. Obi kono obi ba. Akufo do plan so obi ntimi nkwa ma. What about if in the whole 8 years of Akufo do no? No lady omoko am say 4 times as he saying. 4 times. And then omoko koba because John Mahama ma amamuo no sabi Ghana ni anytimani enya so fa so ama say bibia the din penifos ye jawa ne dia so awo yet okọ me kan ho omo a no mo criticize say no he can't be fit and proper for that position. However, no we say wakonya nimbie bi no amana be doctor ni no ebia he will apply. But I have so many friends in the sector. Me ankasa me Cocoa ni me mama me Cocoa me papa o Cocoa.
Okay.
Enti eye sector me fe ni agro kra. Na se wako akuhu kuani se ne wado ama ni nsem chechenti wontimi kra fa nku isra because I hear ni sabi twa me honam to say some people kuani oni kwanya otimi di nku isra ne yirechi because what is rawa ne yire na chi no ubehu na bet say apra unu aprawa
abona na ho say mo wure.
Yes enti kuani bre na say di jaw ne di aso awo dia the first priority any say Cocoa kuani na odo Cocoa na e ma wunya beans na wo koto ma o man ni nya so fa so no na wo so hwe no kane first.
Okay.
Omo ba ye na MPP for say Cocoa Board obi edi dia na asie and na one round you be say na wo border rule answer na round you be border rule no ye mu bi opposition no na ye di ka kama me Cocoa for the test studio we ye mu say ya betwa mu Cocoa agu a ye nua. You also came and lamented. And I'm see beyond the lamentation, you know, we should cure it. A kwame ne be faso e be cure. We do the Cocoa rehabilitation project. Me akua fo bi ya wo ya ndisi fo. My friends here, me be to bedwam. ye kwase ye kopedi aman omo say no abanda da no pen so no na mo sa peda de ma omo na mo say da bi we dia wo ye wo be feli me kae ma fansie enya na be omo to koko last year koko na ye di afiwe koko no mo ton be say 70 to 80% dada omo di usika it's in excess of 3 billion e ko be 4 billion po sika ni we ya afi koko ni na onu ado koko no e dey say ko release ka fofo na de akoma no say sika na we why do you choose car obi tin kan ya we betenam koko na obi manage no car oni pa ko betenam ni wo a wo ye koko ni manager no car wo betenam why do you choose that over the cocoa farmer it's a genuine concern oni man juma and our byway cannot fail the people of this country because our byway so fairly Ghana yeah democracy bien
okay
anunti ana ma ye ma sem say men pese be say enne na me so ne party ade chia da bi o man pani you free ho no man ni njo cocoa farmer ni who say you better manager of the cocoa farm say the be produce ne ba ye to a o man so be na so for so say ye gold board ana nyansani jo mahama ne owi asani jamfile atofo sen Bank of Ghana Dr. Siamanom e ka o mutiri bo ho no mutimi ye gold board a e ka sika be ne nke de be hwe o man no all our lives ye depend on cocoa now mutimi ko cocoa in excess of $3 billion na sika is nowhere to be found. Na mi bebu sa na be ka tell me say abanda da no asem abanda da na wono abokro no no o ko di $600 million and almost some the $350 million e ba be cocoa rehabilitation almost 156,000 hectares one na be ka tell say o ma out of 156,000 hectares no o ma ye emu 40,000 hectares and ka 116,000
yes
now with this can yanti obia how are you managing cocoa board? Now, say the current affairs of cocoa border. You are referring me to the past. Anything they do better now. They do better now. Say, you're Shahai, your armchair leader. Now they are Shamu, they cocoa no. Just watch them. Now, omu deteriorate. But what they will compare cat them.
Dabe na repetition you call president na wanya ho okay nti ehun mo aye bi enyam baaye
unim say one penny or listening president me matiti bebre na no pe kura obi kura penny fo bebre ni makasa makacho mo say ade bi e be yama se me bre se me ko sweating se domama be president e be ma na ni megu ase no me ye dede sa domama kura permanent me sori am pe bi am ye dede demi here no because abaway ofeli Ghana for democracy a good it means now ma koko ni enne me ya club waje tini enya ho akogina koko afum akronfo we mo e be criticize John Mahama aban e wo di farm and boy for kodi sika na mo tini a sika na di be le ejire omo ka ho na so no ye di jawo no John Mahama nko ban na nko da bia busan se na de na economy aye basa na obedina Ghana fo anim se abanda da no na ma economy na aye basa e kebe de ne na tra my way. So why do you refer to the past when the future is very very bright koko nya dia ka se me kwato ani nya tofo enti no me de I think say either say dem be koko bo PRO and I said, "We are fanning cost pros for baby."
You better headmaster be teacher.
Oh, now they see that. You see, and now Padre Mahama, man, you could feel see any and say, if you look at Mahama, who cry a person or your consultant, keke. Obey, I know my hood. Oh, my, you care, you must not care. In whichever capacity
you are providing service.
Missing Mahama teach you know, he was more than a consultant. Akufo na ya so brache na went in the future kan man we kan yam.
Okay.
I don't know on the page. There be no profile solutions. We will be quite say one day na how nkofo no be copycat. Ama amemo to tell you how Ghana for cry we be fino. Yeah maneka. Okay. So it does not matter which position ya de be ma wa de be so no mind. There are even others that do not have any positions, but they still proffer ideas.
Okay.
Other civil society organizations are all Ghana. They do their work.
Sure.
All positions. They don't. Okay. So much say maybe na dream na match.
Yes.
Me na penny. Maybe na man penny kwa na dream nko. I don't think democracy no.
Yes.
But my dream way a match. Me mpese ebedu baby na penny beka se me yanka. Because some yanka kasa no. Enye nyasafo kasa. So solution is say I am taking it now.
Martin Ebuku.
Finance minister na ade me say na say. We feel say finance minister was in a juma. But he would have been better if cocoa was faring well. The sector is near collapse.
Wow.
And it's just been a year. You would think say 1 year is just a little time to make progress. Don't say same of John Mahama, because John Mahama has made progress.
Okay, Nepoku.
It could have been better.
Very well. It
could have been better.
Omampeni John Dramani Mahama equally for emergency cabinet meeting. Me no ka say abana ama Felix Kwatio Fosu Edin Sembia Babetuja. I say the emergency cabinet meeting session on cocoa sector has ended. Minister for Finance will hold a media briefing tomorrow to announce decisive measures taken to expedite payment to farmers, implement a new financing model for cocoa purchases, unprecedented ramp up in domestic processing of cocoa, among others. In the President emergency cabinet meeting our friend FR cocoa and one semi year okay. Neighborhood almost party say near my PBF member Nyame the finance minister Dr. Kasela to forcing whatever modern fee what the science semi ahudu nyina ababe tuja mami ko Muhammad ho e koko nsen semi ho
menu pe Nepoku.
Yes.
I think say no sikan no say wachira na adwen, and that is the beauty of democracy. Amanyo sem no ade a ye fe ewo mu no wo ho kwan say o kan de o feel say ebeboa oman no.
Yes.
But I think the last aspect of the submission no na e ba bia anka wo say oman na hon de ko
de you know
nyaachimfo na omo na asori asesa enkonfo bi de omo akwa gu kuku afu say omo ye press conference kuku fo
okay MBB for
yes me can Dennis, you understand
okay
these are the people that we have to let you see. Oh, say where our problem with Randy is emra and some no buy and some all the information so no buy bonte. That is where personally I have problem with that. You understand? Oko hona no say sector no egu omagu kura awie akonya ne nan ye for miensa bua manaka ba ko ya konya
untimintina so
obetima chena so you understand? And comparison is very important, because when somebody is so incompetent and has mismanaged a system and now trying to tell you say and no yawo wo na wa masebi koko for akuafo no you must tell the person what he did wrong. Very important, senior. And there's no problem, because this is a government where His Excellency John Dramani Mahama he left an positive equity of 1.8 billion. Positive equity. It means that as of 2016, cocoa board or more assets exchange or more liabilities. So what you say?
Yes.
Asset to exchange liabilities. And what they man 2016 before all free so.
Very well.
And then he handed over to Nana Akufo-Addo Baumia. By 2024, now we have 3.8 billion negative equity. Negative. Whereby South Cocoa Board or Maja Padien Kura and Piaka. That is what Randy came and met. You understand? As at August, Nasebia was in Komutua some 2.9 billion. One city Kromampia. You understand? This is a cocoa sector, and I said, baby, I have inheriting almost 32.91 billion debt. At Doko, a cannot Doko a cocoa board to send Mukumwa. Your bar power, your 30 cocoa price. Yeah, promising Ghana for say, your best you to FOB, your friends and value. to almost 70,000. You understand? 7,200.
Yes.
7,200. You buy now cocoa price no a shoe to call down. I am out for 3,100 and something. No. They started making noise. You understand? They started making noise. And now, Sebi, that is where I will agree with you a little bit. Say, and now, Omasha said they don't know all this information is there. About this information, who do one as a CEO Nanka, this information, you know, what's there? About Bonte, exactly. You understand? But then, Omono, Amma Coco sector, no, Apro Atiti Apansam, Sebi, Amma Sebi, Asai Basano. And then you have the guts, carry people, and then I am so disgusted. Say, him for crown or me cocoa for now, more night and also more brunuma.
Mohammed, Tama, Nebo Casano, Cabossi, we associate the Jawa, yeah, they are swell. Yes. It's Mefana said you walking was say you and before Eja Catri, or my memoir, I'm a best son in Inti, and a Ghana for Debbie. Mosa, Amano Koi. Maho Mino Obakaya term NDC for about 2024. What would you be a normal to them? Crono Akoso.
Exactly.
And ten in Ghana for Yansu Yampa MPP for Etimunko Telefi. Now NDC Mababetna Abenium.
So that is why there was an emergency meeting today.
Why now?
His Excellency John Dramani Maham.
Why now?
You understand?
You see,
His Excellency John Dramani.
Let me tell you, bro. I mean, come on, my own. You party sending free or yeah, my own. Yen when you crew Yen come okay, my own.
Okay.
Maintain NDC. NDC move on my way, a bit.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
NDC na hope, say, you need that one.
Okay.
But say, I no quaffra my own. Aunt Nitty Yanma or more Yanma MY,
the hem of affairs.
Share. Why now? Why must there even be an emergency meeting today? Only confirm almost sector as center cocoa board. Only confirm sector as
now.
The gold industry was in a mess before Sami Jenfi took over. Sami Jenfi, Shakwala, Sami Jenfi. Windiani Nyansa, Obrempong once yet Tiafutu. Go bedroom. How different is it? And look at it from scratch. From scratch. Oh, buy an staff for her. Oh, buy an expert for her. Oh, more expertise, experience hands. Oh,
the way are you saying, sir, Doctor Randy?
It is his incompetence. Straight. Straight. Maybe no problem. Me too fancy. As a mefuma ebema me yema me can it once. Randy. Na me can no kro so me can no nyamimu ene me kro mu. It's his incompetence, arrogance. Because he thinks that the first family, omo ye ne nam funom. Enti di onima de ne kura be ka no kura na chere na ontie. That is his problem. That is, and yes, Randy is so brilliant, sir. So, coordinating a course, say, Obeya Juma, and can you emergency meeting? And the arrogance, ego, and SM. No man can cry and tell me, na me yam sabi, but the first yam sabi, o twabra, and I will get from a body or yam. And to make can SCP. Say, Sankano, MPP need me one some cocoa from. You buy an hour my one, what's it wine? Why not watching it?
That is a problem.
Now I can tell us about what's Ora. Ora, no, the so first one is saying. For information, the common 89.
That's a problem because.
Now it's not a son of a fool. Now, Summer and they dream can.
Dream baby, Akoswa.
Dream. What is it? You say, baby, Coco about my contract once in 1 week. One city, and I watch it.
No, what do you there's no money? No, good necessary.
And you buy out but 2 seconds board. I can't do toilet, and I'm this rehabilitation here and Fatuhono. And that's an apple na me copper contract and me a temi. There be we because me could share the Rabbi Aguna in Kum 117-year-old woman. You can cocoa for you to go. Cocoa na yendia. Diana yendia. Nipa na ono sai kwaya sai duano wo ba ya wo sa the contract asama no mentina na make man too. That is you are into mess the government up. Wo ba ya wo mo call appointing now CMC nipa call appointing on people. You are playing games with them.
So that is why the problem is.
That is my problem. Nipa no mo timi nya adwuma no o na no mo ya adwuma no
one more this hour.
Me say cocoa board say here me ko bisa me aya me kan sema me tu nua na ma chesi ko NDC for cocoa board ho ko bisa omo say whanum na rand no mo ya adwuma
MPP for
what MPP for na ya adwuma that is the mess
because womu aye bia wo antimi ansosida na antimi anye
they say they have built a proof of their lives.
Okay.
And we don't expect say we do private fafa we do biamu because we have experts. Like I said this here, there are people that have the capabilities. Say the cocoa board no more, they can turn it within the next 3-4 months. You don't need a year. Management na nipa no cocoa dock crap on what you have the cocoa beans na brew. What cotton na wo aboka? What be that? The one what kwati ahaso what tin na ni fifre, when what dama ni sem na si cheche. What me fa na sa ensra na yirati. Omo kwati na kodo cocoa no dia brew. Wo a wo cotton no so aboka. What be that?
So the problem is that he's dealing with everything.
He is incompetent because he's not choosing the right people.
He's dealing with
Who said there are some people whose egos will not allow them to bring on board experienced hands. Because Ofin said anyone that is experienced no bar or that is sign. But the best leader is John Mahama. He saw the leadership in Atoforsin. He saw it in Erikopoku. He saw it in Amabua. He saw it in John Dinapo.
And they are excellent.
And they work excellent work.
They are performing.
And then I can't see you for the why is it cocoa board? Or no pen a menisano? Uni baby aminam. Obia na juma. Gabia me betra should you have me say bro who say. Bani pa yan seshe bro who say am brase emi nsu. Emi tin na cocoa board ayesa no. Because cocoa board now tin regular radio so ka say cocoa board ko enu na we need experts wo. What do you mean? We want more experts for cocoa board. Man for say real funny in Kronkro. We mo ya adwuma SIA te say the locum e wo Cote d'Ivoire. Mo te Ghana ha ye locum wo Cote d'Ivoire. We nyan kan krenche ye ho. We move forward as a country.
What is happening now? You bet me aka say fort ni free round the
e no pe. No dia me obi kan ho a Dr. Banu nyina ni ayi no. So mo nyina wo cocoa board wa che. Papa ya Joma ma appointee ni. Pe and send me meet me can. And John Mahama Pound, or my national security cocoa board. Or my BNIB from cocoa board. No mean tea no more concern. If you are making concern, they should go there to cocoa board and listen to the staff. Like I say, one baby 1 minute, 1 minute.
Somewhere also.
Why?
Okay, Mohammed, if now Odi Rihanna,
sir, a Juma.
Yes.
Na say it will be very unfortunate. Say sanity there. Na say adwuma na e ho no, ono mo ha o mo MPP for no mo na ya adwuma na ma adwuma na say no. Ye san ba na san the adwuma na show mo sem dia. It is not appropriate.
What if it be a new measures
by? It is not about new measures. MPP me makana de bia say enye MPP ni ndi o.
Oye ma boy
MPP ni menje MPP ni ndi o. MPP ni catch us obi MPP ni a de bia maka asisu say catch us obi MPP na
track record bia wo de aye ni me bia
won te say President Wallace Eka say we should not mimic them. They are happy at where they are. Omania just say you understand they are property owning Democrats, so they are interested in corruption. So I say dream katasha project kankan. So I say dia omani je ho omope. So I say, and they don't care. And this will be an MPP nipa there. I can bet my last finger. Say, so be MPP ni amanjini di debi another.
Wow.
I'm telling you. You understand? And you know, if there are those people, that definitely they will be there and they will be sabotaging the system. So I say, and if they sabotage the system, at the end of the day, ebekwa kuwe abaye no so. You understand?
Yes.
Abaye no so ebekwa kuwe because where are you when it's happening they see. Look at what they are doing. Pretending as if say omo no de omo ye angels. Meanwhile, mo na mo aye asay honum no ama na say. You understand? Enka His Excellency John Dramani Mahama amba, enka ebetia ni say wom. Cocoa board asa ajiagu. You understand? So me, yes, I applaud your friends His Excellency John Dramani Mahama for taking these steps, and then tomorrow we await what the finance minister is coming to tell us based on the
very well. Nebo yemfenye when cabinet meeting across emergency cabinet meeting, His Excellency the President John Dramani Mahama Freya Omako deliberating on this cocoa farmers Womadoye now Mubins Wohona Yen Yesikentia. According to Felix Kwachivosu, Minister in charge of a government communication, Nisa more the Ababe 2 on says Sabedi and Komodi Diemono, across saying Yankopon Eya Domoa, Wachina, and somewhat the finance minister, the Bababe 2 say, one more fa kwan so na omo nya kwan bi o metimi e be nya sika bi o mo de ba betwetwi a cocoa farmers no eno then I will can their fast
Ora Mahama
yes
e obi a odokuyani bia ogana oyekuyani
okay
me krata me troye no me nso yekuyani me and then me tro say your colleague farmer otiasi
okay
oyekuyani okofie o hwe na obekon o na afuom o wafu kese a hu bida ni pa obetimi ni na yefuo sana ne papa so no duamo the whole Ghana ne papa ne feed Ghana
wow
yes your mama's father Mahama
okay
the whole Ghana e mo ani eto no Ghana ha bia ne mo e che perfume rice e ko Nigeria nyina
de
papa na
the president His Excellency or domuni bia no
ni nyina dobi
okay
omu nyina yefu obi a papa na tete ne money to the extent say apart from school no making sure say kuyayo so kan wabrabon because it's the engine of growth to the economy agriculture who's the last agriculture minister eka ministers or mere farmers who Ghana they have all emulated his steps because kwa obeka so say yesika we mu befu we befu a we dey ebro betim ehye form a when you have 3 cups of ebro ututu sika be na adekoto bank a we wan see the koto bank ni abo ho ni amount mo ni e di amount sika be na adekoto bank ebedu sa but bro betim we dey ko hye form a anya be bo ebro be se miensa e we bia ba ko ho we betutu na ye bebre na future the man ministers no the appointees who share na no otufu so the be ban sika na fakodua ebro into no farmer into the farmer bia organ bia
okay
anything na which odi no dey to so the emergency he doesn't want to treat it with any kids gloves anything the steps now we're taking the steps are begin say in the interest of the farmer
okay
eti yabeda na say
okay
say wama inclination say yatie free ne kasamafo anu
very well
aba
very
na yaba sa srem say onton koso na makua ni hu hia no
okay
na kua de se ye kua wo ma we mu kura na sese bi se bi ye koda keka ni ye dani akwadufo kua yo mu a se ya nani akwadufo kua yo mu a kua de ye be drechiri ti yada na se so wadwini koko kua ni
very well
yada na se papa yada na se ensada
okay you to Jumedi ni so live on TVSYZ and Power 97.9 FM inside politics Jumedi ni go so ya de so mono listo na kusi poku wa executive director Edema Good Governance Advocacy Ghana na otene kana afi Muhammad Shamsuddin Ali one of your former Bono East secretary Dema NDC amanyo kuno ma men kanfo Safari Valley Eco Resort FMA abusua se wo pe baabi ene abusua no na madwodwomo ho wo pe baabi kra wa ye wedding papa bi ma wa hunu se wedding na wa ye no wo ne empanifo ahia wo ne womo a womo so wo mu odu na ehia ya be pa cha ye Safari Valley Eco Resort wo Edukrom Akuapem na se ukugwa na Edukrom Akuapem empatem wa they have serene environment awudu wa and from a be fa ho kra keke no asanya wase woni Ghana kra e ho fe yie pa na wodi dwumadie bia ho nso eye kama open home away from home awudu wa obetimi ahome ma wakoma ato yem na wahwe enema ye very natural e wo abrabo mu a Safari Valley Eco Resort na American for the amount na ade wani akwa kire nti wedding wo honeymoon wo ye birthday celebration bibiara wo pese wo ye no wo betimi age wo feso no ma yama suripu wo ho woni madware a wo betimi adware kaba woni madware kra wo betimi a kirew na bibia aye kama wo ho nti bomoden se odi wani be Safari Valley Eco Resort na wakwa je wa home wo ho frɛ number we na afi nchiremu bi a wo hwehwɛ no wo frɛ omo a wɔn bɛma direction ne nkyerɛmu bi a wɔhwɛ na atimi aboa 0596 914 394 0596 914 394 and now bet me visit on my website no www.safarivalleyresort.com www.safarivalleyresort.com na fe wetimi akọ na wakwa je wa home wo na bibia ye kama edi ama ye to adwumadi ne so ama me ko Mohammed ho Mohammed His Excellency the President enede ya ana wa integrate a 12-member presidential advisory group on the economy se wo mo behwe na abribia wo manyi sikasem wo manyi ahoden ewo se beye no man be fa ntema pa bi de afra ba na nkrofo so keka yenya economic management team pen se wo behwe the last or the previous administration MPP a wo mafri abem no but actually yekohu results no be na dey se wo hwe empanifo a wo mo the presidential advisory group on the economy ne so a mame mu bodi ni tew na fe yemfa nkomo nto aso Her Excellency Professor J Nana Opoku Ajman, Vice President of the Republic of Ghana ewo mubi afi Mr. Ismail Yamson, private sector leader, former member of a page no wo hobi afi Mr. Kwame Pianin, economist and a private sector leader, former member on also ewo mubi Miss Nana Oye Mansa Yeboah, one also a former deputy governor of the Bank of Ghana. Dr. Kwabena Dufo, economist, former governor of the Bank of Ghana and former minister for finance. After Sir Samuel Esim Jonah, one also a private sector leader and industrialist. Mr. Arthur Brown, a former World Bank infrastructure specialist and agribusiness investor. Dr. Henry A. Kofi Wampa, a former governor of the Bank of Ghana. Togbe Afede, one of your economist and private sector leader. Miss Abena Amwa, a chief executive officer, Ghana Stock Exchange. Professor Priscilla Chumesi Bafo, university professor and academic. Professor Patience Asewe Abo, PhD researcher, professor and academic researcher. Sampeni Fui na Nedei. His Excellency the President John Dramani Mahama Abomodin Apo Mohon Tomase and a day the woman and the advisory group on the economy. What Sampeni Fui? I will Mudia Babe to Jaya. Uhunu saying, Kwambe soon bit me after the Aboa ye economy.
Meanwhile, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama adeɛ baako a esi n'ani so kɛseɛ ne kwan a wɔbɛfa so a ɛyɛ Ghana man yɛsi kasɛm no yɛbɛtoto no yie
ebɛgyina brane
nti sɛ wohwɛ saa advisory group on the economy page we are but ɛnyɛ te sɛ MPP deɛ no ɛnyɛ economic difference bebree because sa particular group no a presidential advisory group
yes
there's some 5 target area and as a normal baku numu opotokasem your friend 5 targeted areas.
Okay.
His Excellency John Dramani Mahama say what this our group will be achieved to make sure say the economy will be stabilized.
Okay.
And now me no ka say obia ne me be adwen say and Ghana economy no and I'm quite paso. You understand? Mm-hmm. There's no doubt about that. Ghana economy, you say, Ajina. You understand? Mm-hmm. Inflation, when you look at the inflationary rate, to almost 3.something%. You understand? 3.8%. 3.8%. ABC that. You understand? Oh, share your friend saying, what do you call it? Exchange rate. Akofem no.
Dollar to the cedi no.
Dollar to the cedi no. There's the need for the president sebi babemba adwen kese for wode nyoma betu akwamo so what I say and you pause and confirm so we say the first thing is that you feel be inclusive expertise for comprehensive advice.
Okay,
some painful we nyina no each and every one of them different expertise from different background.
Yes,
you understand?
Yes,
and each and every one of them to to bring on board Dr. Komnadu for.
Yes.
Yes. Your friends Samuel Sam Jonah.
Yes,
you understand?
Yes.
A renowned your friends economist. You understand? Dr. Komnadu for Juma Wababa Magana. So these are expertise. When they come, Obia Omuba expertise no abeda the send be Ghana yesika sem no eno na me can say when this government fail this country it means that the democracy is going to be crushed. You understand? And for that matter there is the need for the president to earmark an inclusive system of governance, especially on the economy. Send a be yesika sem na be den nentoto na be den ebe konkan. The tosu mienu was a commitment to independent and evidence. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama MIH ase ekano pefe say or pese oye rigorous and non-partisan advice grounded in data. So what I say say economy ni nsem no e wo say ye fa no mayemfa amanyosem enhyem bebrebe because oman the backbone of this country is the economy. And the moment backbone honam no backbone no crash okono anamebwa. You understand? So another idea esi na nisu no say na be the commitment to independent and evidence. So we will get experts from all walks of life.
Yes.
Omo not partisanly NDC for. So there's a disaster obobo MBB for the Mahmoud Bawumia ya the economy nation in same say economy. You understand? What say economy no man say pasa just because when you treat the economy with politics you crash it.
Okay.
Yes, when you treat the economy with politics you crash it. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama say economy no we cannot treat the economy with politics. It's not all times, you understand?
Okay.
So obia unim say onim die na onyansa na obetimi enioma obetimi de enioma obetimi de nyansa ba bonte aboa ama oman no sikasem agina no e was Excellency John Dramani.
So are you saying say under the previous administration Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia headed the economic management team what did the economic management team Momo Professor Jan Bafo and Penny4 Akesia na wobubo omudino no many expertise on the economy said
they have the expertise but there's politics, a bit of politics in it. These individuals are yabo mudi I know munina na your friends and directly affiliated to the NDC.
Okay,
you understand? There's a bit of politics. Ena ono the economic management team no one what out is on the onyansa chebia so it is on because one onyansa chebia and the munina wado mo buy no I say one no de omo adane your friend say hwibaru and okuomo. You understand? Whatever they say, the information we had is that whatever they say, they have said it openly. Oma can openly amagana for nyina yate. So that's say some management team no nye the omo kan nyina nye no fa edi adwuma.
Eti obi to say bia senior minister Nana ya Osafo Mafo no kan the economic management team ho. Utu say bia no ka bibia na wo musu say Bawumia enim nyansa na senior minister kasa anya dia na
ekosi say nyansa fo no mpokura no yesi wo nyansa chen obia Bawumia we sebi o misra meka ho sebi also nyansa chen your friends say people like Osafo Mafo enko. You understand? It is purely politics. You understand? So bibi now aim is to achieve only political points. You crash it. So His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is talking about the commitment to independence. You understand? Inserting the economy. And he has stated it clearly. Wakana clearly Amagana Funyinacha say. And Osaka say for this particular group is for strategic reset amid recovery. And now Menoka say, Yenina Ebetias say your friend be permanent reset. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and his odi hunu kesiye ba ko no se Ghana man no obesesa na ama na free fapem na e won so no asay apraticha pansam no aba fapem paso, and he has started it.
Okay,
you understand?
Okay.
And for that matter this particular group ya omuno se si ameno ka say unim say there is an aim say percent ka aban no betima ya nanka ya yiye hu free IMF.
Yes,
exactly. So what I say, the aim of this government is at least latest by April 2026. There was a Ghana TV exit from IMF. You understand?
Okay.
And that is prudency in managing the economy. And it takes individuals like this. And last but two, was say precedent and then continuity. You understand? Somebody when you know, it has operated during at a most time.
Okay. Yeah.
At a most time. No buy a person musua or ntimi anye. The economic management team buy or my son. You understand? And you know, dear can be 4 years, Excellency President Moss. Nice Excellency John Dramani Mahama. What do you call it? Vice President. When who say Adiani Adipa, and I was say yes, sign and this group number. Your friends say your economy and the last one is high expectation for impact. So group there is Excellency John Dramani Mahama expecting the sectoral development and then investment mobilization and a BBI friend structural information and as a structural transformation. I know a de Ghana ebeto baby ya ba on my mind I be my sector where Ghana will be an icon. That is what is Excellency John Dramani Mahama Eden and so. Say what say a banner kasika sama ya Ghana dia the whole Africa. And what say it's original brand. You understand? So you could see say Mami way Vice President,
yes,
Jane Nana Opoku Ajimai,
yes,
the Vice President, over private sector leader, former member of former member. So I say, Mr. Kwame Pieni, Kwame Pieni, well, he is not affiliated to NDC, you know, and everybody knows say he's an economist. You understand? This woman too, Oye Nana Yabua, former deputy governor of Bank of Ghana. You understand? So these are the expertise because His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, se what the Ghana si baby that simple. So when you are, what boy say now be this one to be saying
very well.
So what I say, what boy say now be this one to be saying because one year sa, one year sa, sebi ye de banchi fu obi baba betena sebi obi aniti sebi very good. Na asel my bet o pese o ye na yie se na be ya obakwa na sebi nyansa kura ni utima se na waye economy
obedi susa Mohammed Medase. Okay, yanko nebogu yanko na president the presidential advisory group no ene wapa want to ma ohwe mpanifo a wabobo mu din ya say na nhunu o ma ho den a ebetimi abo ahyehye economy say de o ma panipe
ma me samo na basu bim.
Okay,
say ma pani Muhammad ya wa hwe ya uma me mredu a me di mu nwotwe simedu a me di emu nwotwe be bona baso say wanko tena fie keke na ni nyina ye nyame hyehyɛ sanse penifo se de onim to ne de gina Obrempong.
Yes,
sebi aye bi pen ene ni nyame ye ense na we dey na me say economy e okay me dey na ma adwen no cause baby odi adru say yanko biem kura na gina ha ya
anka ye
waya de papa say na sebi yetimi pa ye huhu yasmin keke waya de pa na say na ye dwen say waya de no na onu de dwen say o we de say na me ka no kura fe na my ignition me be change gie nti we na yes waya de no say won ko fa gie kura onyam change gie
fe no sase
ja fe na just obe move na o chenyi ye na o accelerate bia ne o man no wa hwe ya e betimi ni Dubai akwati pe.
Wow,
on say the bia me can say me say any leader ni dey owo good intentions. What I say hwe ni trimu po na dream po on say maybe obedi o ma we so o ko fie no ono na be kan no bedwam nenka ya asɛm a nka bi kura wo ka emu yɛ odu baabi a no ɔde ne ti kɔto wabɛyɛ mampani o ɛnɛ obi bɛyɛ even asɔre pani just 1 month ɔpɛ Range Rover atenam because sɔfo ɛda Range Rover mu nti ɔno elder ne so ɔda Range Rover mu na wɔn no deɛ odi akyerɛ nsua deɛ odi kan nante a ɔkyerɛ wo sɛ be that selfless and servant leader nti ɛnyɛ sɛ ɔbɛnya ne ho twom deɛ ne yɛnka mfa ne ho na nka saa sika yɛbobɔ din na wanyɛ sika bebree na watotɔ adan kofi Dubai na ɔfa sɛ John wotie bi ɔkɔ fie na ɔni baabi ɔde ne ti ɔne ne yere ne ne mma ɔmde ɔmo ti kɔto na ɔnam afei na ɔpɛ baabi akɔ han. Can you say same of previous presidents apart from Nkrumah? Can you say that about any other president apart from Nkrumah?
So what the president
apart from say
not only for
only no baby said you but not a host
man okay
because wabo black on anima kodun pempen so a sa bia no say de no kwatena say on fanya hoho a enso ani
okay
enso ani enko betimi aye ni o ma bebrebe no wo be kwana jo mama ne mansion kakraka ba woni say so manfo ho to wo mu a abadwa ne bo bejo akuma be to ne yam. Contrary to the saddest in the MPP no omo de omo hu say nipa wo misery mu a omo de me akasabwaje no mu yesesi ai no wo hu say koko farmer ne ho tetie no no na ni age. That is a saddest. When you gie no e na reho wa reho ye na ni gie John Muhammad ye wa reho no e ma na reho enti da bia no opese wo ma wo ni gie enti impose a contemplantem ya titi petrol so dollar ko form hwese ne sesei obi a ho he ha no ene ukoto cement akusi dan a hwe ne bo compare it eso still wo si da bi pani tiri ho ye pa kuma pani ni tiri ho ene ye pa kuma enti ba men ko fa ni defo a impo me fancy ye no mo nka ho no ma omo mabua ma Ghana fo ho he ha omo mo the one he ha but we see there be me hwe me pesa mo ho he ha mo mo
na ABB so no so mo won for keno for ata no ka
me pacho me asema me kan pacho me ka enyansa fo asem me srew me pacho enyi me nkukọ enuma no ma me srew we enyansa fo nkomo na me bi
mati nepo kienko
pacho
mati
enti so we di ya ebo ha nyina hwe ma me ahofe bia oba panyi a wadi mfie aduoso na akire hwe na dwempa na me man hwe eye Ismail Yamson papa panyi a ono so mitiri ho abo bio wo sikasem
okay
hwe eye papa kwampianim da bia wo ma lectures utie bi
yeah
o de be boa
o me ne na hia
o ti ase kese di e wa nyina senior kwadadofo senior o ha mitiri ho abo bio
yes
that's an insane no na mitimi nchechi ni ba bio papa
na wo ya be na
no Samjona
yeah
previous years na you encourage me so only more lectures because we want to tap into his experience
sure
etino ya be say penifo yi omo na bua o mampani sabi pani ato sa fra wo bibi say mu a ye de betimi abua ma nso anim nyam kese a ese fata daachi bi o legacy yetimi abohu da wo
okay
mamu ma ye ma sabi manfo menyayen enka se mo ko fa wo ni nyina de na ekosi na ekosi ye be srem list wo mo na mo de mo nyuma kuma mu na mo so bibi ya mo manfo so aso
de no so sira ana bre no ebe ma kwa na so inside politics jumede ye de nyina aba no ewie list na na kosi poku executive director the ma good governance advocacy Ghana and Mohammed Shamsuddin
Mubetria fine for not wearing your fugu.
Mati, yes, sorry. Yes, sorry.
But then your fines.
Yes. So we say the Yankee Obrempong, Mr. Kevin Asante, the police, Jumedi, Director, Rap Jampo, and Peter Cranton and Penny for. Camera Francis Waha Kofi Asante wo mu nyina boa de Jumedi Ebre Onyankopon yadma wo chena ye bese hia makramo.